everyone. Just starting a little bit early just to make sure that I've got all the settings right. So do bear with me just a little bit. I'm just sending off a few mails and getting everything sorted out, and then we will be ready to start. Welcome anyway to this stream. I hope that this is all going to be very, very interesting. For the it's a match with night odds played between GM David Navara, a very strong Czech grandmaster, and he'll be receiving night odds from Leela Zero, organised specially to be well excellent at this form of chess, playing with a knight less. So, yeah, unclear what's going to happen. I've been doing a few little experiments as well, so I can report back on that as well. And but yeah, really, really cool, really great that that David has agreed to do this, and yeah, really lovely that the Leela team is doing so much work on quite an unusual form of chess. So I'm just going to start one more thing up, and I'm hoping then that that is going to work, and then we can just start with the main stream. So let's having a look. It's what I'm trying to do here. If we're lucky, is that we're going to have a Zoom call, so we're going to be able to see David during the match, and yeah, you know, that should just be just add an extra little dimension there, hopefully, to everything, you know. So yeah, we're going to see whether that works or not. It's a little bit cheesy, the whole the whole thing there. So I'm just sort of interested whether it's going to work or not. But yeah, anyway, we'll try. It's I'm just going to end the meeting and then start it again. Yeah, this is all good stuff, this, isn't it, really? It's always the same. You really try and make everything work, you test it, and then you're never quite sure that it's going to work or not. If I can't do it, then I will just have to avoid that, but it would be nice if we could have a little view of David there whilst he's playing. Just mute myself in there, and then let's go. Well, I think I maybe need to. Okay. I need to do a little bit of adjustment there. Do bear with me. Oh, it could be that. Wait a minute. We'll just just bear with me. It's yeah, always a little bit tough getting this stuff ready, but it will be worth it in the end. And unfortunately, some of the stuff, unfortunately, you can only really do when you start the stream. That's the bit of the problem. Tested it yesterday, but hasn't quite worked out so far. But we'll have a look. That looks fine to me. There we are. So I hope your Saturday's going pretty well there. This is going to be quite an exciting little thing. Hopefully starting early. People aren't going to be, hey, Windfish Ballad, hello. Just trying to get the Zoom call going. For some reason, some things are not going completely smoothly with it. But I don't know. It could be that I've started the meeting too early. We'll have a little look. But anyway, that's just trying to get that working, and then afterwards we'll start with the main thing. I have got lots of very good stuff for you all, so hopefully that is going to it's going to be a lot of fun. There we are. Go live. Let's have a look. I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening there. Dong, 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 dong. In progress. Join. There we are. Okay, so lead meeting, launch meeting. Yeah, this is all a little bit sad, but we will make it all happen. Great. Join with computer audio. There we are. And now the magic. That's what we're going for. All right. Well, whilst I'm still struggling with this, I might give it a. Oh, there we are. We'll admit. The meeting's there anyway, so I mean that is actually working. The only question is whether I'm able to live stream it or not. So there we are. Well, I will maybe give another go for the live stream, just in a little bit of time. It's not really doing it for me at the moment. Hey everyone. Hey. Right, so I'm going to start. I'm not managing to get the Zoom call onto the live stream, so you may have to do without David. For some reason, it was working yesterday, not working today. But I will probably give it another little go later. But let's have a little start with what we wanted to do, which was to go through everything. I'm going to share my screen. There we are. And we are starting. So welcome to this match. David Navara, Grandmaster, against Leela Zero, Contemptla, configured for playing night odds chess. What is night odds chess, you may ask? Well, it's going to look something like this. So Leela is going to be playing with white and is going to be missing a knight, either the B1 knight or the G1 knight. And I think that David is going to, Guillaume, is going to be deciding basically, which one he does with each game. It does alter the openings quite significantly in actual fact. So it does lead to a different type of game, which is quite nice. It's just removing one knight from each side. It gives you quite a lot of flexibility there. Now, odds chess. What is all that? We start at 2 o'clock, so in 1 hour, basically. They're going to alternate, are they, Windfish? Okay, that's cool. So odds chess. I mean, if you'd asked me a few days ago, about odds chess, I would have said, yeah, boring. It's it really seemed to me like something from the 19th century that had no real place in modern chess. But a couple of things have changed. First of all, there was a very interesting article in New in Chess by Larry Kaufman, who's an American Grandmaster, one of the driving forces behind the Komodo Dragon engine. We'll talk a little bit more about Larry later. And also, of course, this match was announced, and I started to take a serious look at what Leela was doing with night odds, and Yeah, I mean, I was simply blown away actually by how Leela was playing. So yeah, all of a sudden I've gone from not very interested to totally obsessed. But you know, in the space of a couple of days. So that's basically how you know, that's basically how it goes with me. So very, very, very interesting. Now, I mean, odds chess, you know, is that something? Well, you know, giving odds in games has been you know, something pretty common. In particular, you see it in Go and Shogi. In Go, it's, you know, big 19 by 19 board. The first moves normally by both sides are to take control of some strategical points, normally in the corners. So the handicap normally is to give the weaker player, you know, a number of stones with which he can already take control of the strategical places on the board, and then afterwards you play from there. With Shogi, Shogi's got this peculiarity that that the pieces that you capture, if you capture one of your opponent's pieces, they become your own. So what you can do in Shogi is you can, you know, start with a bishop and a rook less, which is like a queen and a rook odds in chess, but it remains very thrilling because you know, obviously normally in Shogi you're sacrificing pieces in order to make a win, but if you sacrifice a piece, it goes to your opponent. So if you miscalculate, yeah, all of a sudden the opponent's got a huge amount of material which could drop on any place on the board to attack you. So thanks, Can Chess. So you know, there's always it's always very, very fraught indeed, because you could be going for an attack, miscalculate, and then all of a sudden you're giving pieces to your opponent which he can then use to attack you. So both in Go and in Shogi it works you know, very, very well. In Go, I'm a very weak Go player. I've had a lot of handicaps in my time, and I think I've failed to ever win a game. So that's yeah, it seems to work quite well. In Shogi, I've given I'm a bit stronger in Shogi. I've given odds, and I also helped prepare Natasha Regan for a game that she played, for one of the games she's played against a professional with odds, and well, she lost in the end, but came very, very close indeed. And the funny thing about that is that I prepared her using a book written by Larry Kaufman, the same Larry Kaufman who wrote the article in New in Chess. Larry was one of the strongest Western shogi players in his day, probably still is actually, and wrote quite a big book on how to play handicap shogi. And yeah, it was very, very useful. Lots of analysis, lots of ideas and schemes against all the different handicaps that you can have. And yeah, he's quite heavily involved in this Leela night odds, Leela odds projects. It's not just night odds. Leela's also playing some queen odds games and winning occasionally as well, even against quite decent players. So yeah, you know, quite interesting there. So what I thought was maybe interesting was maybe to have just a quick look through odds play throughout the ages, and you'll get a good sense of first of all how, you know, strong players throughout the ages have played odds chess. And secondly, what an engine needs to be able to do in order to play odds chess well, and you'll sort of understand a little bit as well why it's been so difficult until now. So what I'm going to show you is a game played by Willem Steinitz against Mr. A. Deutsch. I found it's from a book, Steinitz in London by Tim Harding. I was going to say a little book, but if anyone knows Macfarlane books, they're this size, hardbacks, beautiful books. Steinitz in London is called, although strange enough, these odds games are played in Vienna. But here, Steinitz was playing in the way that we're going to see, with a knight less. And well, what you can see is that we're getting some sort of Evans gambit here. Knight f3, bishop g4. A lot of stuff happening, quite typical what's happening here. You know, straight away the weaker player is making some sort of mistake. So Steinitz has already got a pawn back, and in actual fact, he gets extra material pretty quickly. The only slight drawback to it here is that his queen is trapped on a8. Now, you know, Steinitz could actually just try and get it out, something like rook b1, for example. That would be quite reasonable. But this is an odds game, so he goes full for it. Rook f3, knight d7, and then rook a f1. Let me just move that across here so that we don't get that in the middle of the board. Rook a f1, and this is very typical odds play. It's not the best move in actual fact. The best move is quite nice, actually. I just put it quickly onto Komodo Dragon there. Seemed appropriate to use Komodo Dragon since it's Larry Kaufman's engine. And that was probably the best move. But rook f1 played, just offering the queen. And now, a queen b6 check was the best move, followed by rook takes a8. And this move knight d5 just to block everything. It's complete and utter mess. But black should be sort of okay. In the main game, which I should promote to the main line there, then this actually happened. Rook takes f6, bishop takes f7. Very nice little trick. King f7, rook f6 check. So king g7 was played. Check and takes. And Steinitz finished it off. What you notice about this this game, and we're going to see it in a number of odds games that we're going to have a look at, is that what Steinitz did in actual fact was he didn't play normally. Actually, what he did, he made himself even worse in order to stand a chance of being better. So in other words, he's running the risk of being absolutely, completely lost. And in order to increase his winning chances by completely randomizing the position. And that is kind of the key to playing odds chess, really, and that's kind of what's been difficult for the engines, because engines in general are going to try and play the best moves in the position, and the best move in the position, might end up leading this to an end game where you're 2 pawns down and lost, but the best practical chance would be to keep on upping the ante, keep on sacking material, keep on somehow discovering winning chances, even if it means you're going to lose quicker. Traditionally engines have found this very difficult. Komodo Dragon, won't be surprised to learn, had various personalities. Also had a special MCTS mode that made it a little bit like a Leela style engine in a way, and that's traditionally been the best engine for playing odds. But it looks like Leela with this latest Contempt implementation is just another level on top there. So let's have a look. What do we have next? Some more. I can show you another quick Steinitz odds games. It's quite nice as well. Again, Queen's Knight. That was always the knight that everyone seemed to give away in the old days. Again, Steinitz playing some sort of Evans Gambit, opening lines, giving away a pawn, but opening lines there. Bishop b6, d4, e takes d4, queen b3. And here, actually, the game almost becomes over straight away. There was one good move here, which is d6. You block this bishop f8 diagonal, so after check, you can just come here. And black should be doing quite well, although obviously you could imagine a weaker player might get slightly nervous. But black played d5, and then we got e takes d5, knight a5, rook e1 check, bishop e6. D takes e6, and I think that white announced checkmate in 6 moves, or maybe on the next move. So quite a nice little checkmate, actually. Knight b3 takes check, king c6, knight e5, check, check, and check. It's funny, all these odds games, they were always the ones that I used to just, go past when I was reading a chess book somehow. But now I'm just looking at all of them. It's quite nice. But loads of examples like this. Also many from Morphy's games as well. Morphy was a great odds giver as well. And some absolutely brilliant games, obviously with a huge disparity in playing strength. But I mean, odds playing, A takes d3. Yeah, pretty good there, Patrick. Really nice game. Yeah, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Really nice. Steinitz was a very very good odds player. He kept on playing odds till quite late into his career. Now there was one interesting match played around this time, and I guess interesting from this point of view, because it was actually played by two quite strong players. The white player was Cecil de Vere, very little known English player, died very young. Thanks, Canchess. It's but I have to say that David and Windfish are the real heroes here. So I just thought, wow, what an amazing thing to do. So yeah, absolutely. It's I definitely think, by the way, I'm seeing Mr. Beat in the stream, that Windfish has taken over the role of Leela's greatest fan somehow. His machine is much, much better than Mr. Beat is. So lots of TCC chatters here. Great. So Cecil de Vere, English player, died very young. There's a little book on him. They called him the English Morphy. And well, in 1865, Steinitz offered de Vere pawn and move. A match was played, and actually this turned out to be too much. De Vere was too strong for Steinitz at these odds. But just interesting because, obviously the strength was much closer. I mean, De Vere, if you had it in modern terms, was probably about 2,500 and Steinitz was 2,700. But still, these proved to be very tough odds for Steinitz. I can give one game, though. Just have a quick look at how it went. This is a very typical way of dealing with that lost f7 pawn. You put the knight round to f7. It looks like a really... that's good, Mr. Beads. That's one of the great things about being on stream. You can just exploit all your opportunities to do a little bit of gentle trolling. So yeah, so this looks like an absolutely horrific Budapest for black. But Steinitz, again, you're just seeing what Steinitz is doing. Sacrificing pawns, opening lines, going above and beyond his disadvantage in order to create chances. And well, yeah, I mean, what he manages to do, he manages to force de Vere to actually start sacking stuff. And this is still very good for white. It's actually quite a good continuation for white, but it just makes the risk a much higher. You've got to keep on playing accurately in these positions. If you get it wrong, then the odds giver will jump all over you. Hey, Ocelot. Slapping YouTube bot. Yeah, that Zoom call is just not coming on. I'll have a little go at it later, but just a little while. We've got plenty of interesting stuff to show you. So knight e6, queen g3, rook g8. You can see that Steinitz is under huge pressure here, but he's surviving. He's he's got a piece now for when he sacrificed given a pawn away the first time, and somehow Steinitz manages to keep things together. And de Vere goes wrong somehow. He needed to play a move like bishop d5 here. Just keep it nice and tight. After bishop d5, you'd sort of have the exchange, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 pawns, the exchange, dominating position. The possibility later, when at your convenience, to take the 2 bishops. It would be really, really good there. But okay, knight takes c5 happened, and this is very typical for odds play. Somehow black surviving, and actually there's some huge pressure on this c2 pawn. And I think there was one move, bishop d5, in this position that was a way to sort of hold it. But yeah, de Vere didn't manage to do it, and yeah, he just got horribly beaten in the end here. Check. Bishop takes c2, and he resigned, because after rook takes c2, we've got queen f1 check. So yeah, I mean, I hope you're getting some sort of a feel there. That's what I've been developing the last few days. If you're just on Lichess, I think we are going to have an event page if we're lucky. I think they were going to do that. But if you just follow either Leela.chess or the real David Navara, then you'll be able to see the games on there. So I think they're going to make a little events page as well, hopefully. So that's odds chess for you. That's basically how it all happens. Now, basically, as players got stronger, it was felt more and more that odds chess was no longer valid at all. It was It was just the players were too good, basically. Even they were thinking that in the early 20th century, which, you can, they were already talking about draw death in the early 20th century as well. And, here we are now somehow. So, it just goes to show how chess has evolved and improved as well. There was one very interesting odds match that did take place. And games are not late, Cassandra. Games are starting in about 40 minutes. This is just intro and background to it. So don't worry about that at all. So there was one very interesting odds match played. And actually, I only learned about this much later because it was played when I'd already retired. This was a match between Terry Chapman and Garry Kasparov, played in London. Now, who is Terry Chapman? Terry Chapman is extremely nice guy. He's a very successful businessman who retired fairly early, and then sort of devoted himself to a number of pursuits that he really, really liked. And he'd been a very promising junior player, and then stopped with chess, and then picked it up. And actually, he got all the way up to 2300 and the FM title. But one of the things that he did was challenge Garry to a charity odds match. And it was 2 pawns and move. Well, 2 pawns basically, and differing pawns as well. So Terry, it was around 2300, but he's playing Garry, right? And 2 pawns is not that much. It was a very, very he's been on there indeed. And actually, we had a big interview with him in Chess for Life, the book that Natasha and I wrote together. Very, very interesting guy. Very structured idea to how to improve at chess, and that's basically what took him to FM level. So it's very, very definitely worth reading that interview. I'll just show you again this just quickly one of the game that he won. In actual fact, he lost the match 2.5, 1.5, which frankly is a pretty good result, I have to say. But playing very solidly, you can see, just not doing anything. Garry playing very hedgehog hippopotamus style, just waiting for the right moment to strike. Thanks, Mark. And then F5. So Garry, you always see this in odds chess. The odds player at some stage has to make a dash for it, a go for it. And then the question is, how does the odds taker actually react here? And but Terry reacted really well, I have to say. Very sharp play, really going in against Garry's play. So Garry sacrificed another pawn, just to get a bit of play, and in we go. And you got some sort of Blumenfeld type gambit. The A and B pawns are gone. You got the center. But here, Terry played really well, actually, using this H file. Knight H5, Rook H1. I was very proud of this game, Terry, and he's absolutely right, because what he did here, he just attacked like a lunatic, basically. Sacrificed a piece there, took on E5. He's now got 5 pawns, if my count is right, for the piece, and now Knight F4, and everything is coming in now. Knight D5, Knight E6, E6 as well, quite possibly. So Garry had to sacrifice back, and I think Terry did incredibly well here. Chose a very sensible plan, which was just roll that A pawn all the way up the board. A6. Just Gary's desperately trying to get some sort of counterplay, but Terry just went all the way and queened the pawn. And the idea is that we can play queen takes G8 and get completely rid of that attacking rook. And after rook G4, queen takes G4. Garry resigned because rook A7 is coming in next, pinning the queen to the king. But again, you can see, this very important ability, which I think is, quintessentially human, or human in the sense of it's something that humans do very naturally, which is ignoring, the fact that you could be just completely and utterly lost, and just focusing on where are my chances, and So that was basically more or less, I think, the last big human odds game that I'm aware of. Very exciting, and worked very, very well. Produced very exciting games. There've been quite a few odds games played between humans and engines. So recently, I think one of the most one of the ones I noticed the most was between the Australian Grandmaster David Smurden and Komodo Dragon. And a number of players got asked before, what is the score going to be? And I said it's going to be 6-0 to the engine. And David was quite shocked by that, and then ended up beating the engine 5-1. So don't listen to any of my predictions about the score in this match. I think that's basically true. Of course, what happened was that this was quite a long time control David was playing out, 15 plus 10, which certainly eliminates the possibility to make blunders, basically. So that was definitely helpful. I'm not sure whether I factored that in when I was asked what the score was going to be. But what David actually did, and this might be quite a good blueprint for playing, was he played incredibly sensibly. And in particular, I liked his choice of opening very much, because what he did here was he played the Stonewall Dutch, which is very, very solid, very hard for the opponent to get at it. And it gave him plenty of time to exchange off pieces. And what you'll notice is that Komodo just didn't manage to get anything going at all here. Knight e4, black's lovely and solid here. And then David's just gradually just swapping off pieces. Komodo swapped off some pieces there. Bishop e6. And already you can see, well, Komodo's going to have to really struggle here to get anything done at all. And it was wonderfully smooth. And, David just won this very, very easily, in actual fact. Gave away a pawn to exchange off queens, and then swapped off rooks, and basically had no problems at all. Now, it's still never easy converting these positions against engines, but with the time control and a lot of care and patience, David did incredibly well, and ended up winning this match 5-1. So that's kind of the latest state of play in computer against human odds play. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what actually happens in this match. We're starting off with a faster time control, so 5 plus 3. So that's going to definitely going to make some sort of difference. On the other hand, we've got David's a strong player. I certainly don't mean anything like that. The way that he played this match, he obviously showed excellent appreciation of what was required. But David is a super grandmaster and a very, very strong player. So we're evening stuff up, faster time control, kind of stronger player somehow. So let me just admit David into the room there. That's excellent. Going to be very, very, very interesting. So let's have a look. I thought what would be nice would be to show a couple of games of David's. If you just take his games and set beauty on ChessBase and then take the first 4 or 5 games, you're simply amazed. It's just, he's an unbelievable player. When he's in form like this, just absolutely incredible play. And let me just show you maybe a couple of games. This is a fantastic game played in 2007 against the very strong Bulgarian player Ivan Cheparinov. Just a pretty standard anti-martial here. Quite a lot of theory in this, I think. A4, B4. I think we were still in theory here. And this is very, very topical indeed. Black playing D5 quite quickly. And, A5, Bishop A2. And here David decided to go all in here. And he played the move Knight D4, sacrificing the pawn on E5. As you'll see, David is a fantastic tactician. He's trying to talk to me on Zoom. That's not really going to be possible. I'm muted on Zoom, Windfish. So Yeah, that's going to be a little bit tough. We can actually take a better. But yeah, so I'm just in general for the Zoom call. I'm just hosting it basically because I've got the premium edition that allows longer calls, and hopefully I'm having David in the call, but in the stream. But I'm having some technical issues with that. But I will try and get that working. But basically, yeah. David will. Yeah, you can't really talk to me on the Zoom screen. Otherwise, I'm going to be, you know. So knight e5 was played, queen d6. Now apparently queen g4 was the best move if you're an engine. Knight f3 was played, and yeah, David just started hitting. So a lot of counterplay here. Yeah, I mean these are very nice. Actually, what I think that the modern approach to Rai Lopez is to try and turn them into marshals. I mean that's basically the idea. So it's just sort of thrust and counter thrust, really. Knight h6 check played. Cheparinov really going for it. Queen f5 check and bishop d2. So the kings come all the way up. Black's a piece up, but we're getting pins and captures all over the place. But after bishop d6, bishop f7, you might even think that Black's completely lost here. But yeah, he came up with the incredible idea. Queen takes f2 check. Wowsies, what an idea. So king f2, rook e2 check, king g1, rook takes g2, apparently not the best, but frankly, you know, who's counting? Now h4 was the best to try and set up some sort of check there, perpetual check. Cheparinov kept on going, and actually this proved to be his downfall. The king managed to escape, shogi style. Rook e2, a slightly funny move. I think trying to get the rook protected and out of any discovered attacks. Check king e1, and knight takes d3, and white resigned because after cd3 we have bishop g3 and then rook h1. So this is the player that Leela's facing. As you can see, an absolutely phenomenal player, brilliant tactician, and all sorts of amazing skills. So yeah, really cool. You know, really fantastic. If you want to see more of his games, well, either you just take a quick look, or he wrote a book called, I think it was My Chess World. I think I'm getting that right. Biography of his games, super. Pretty sure I gave it a 5-star review, and it was absolutely wonderful. You know, just incredible analysis and nice stories. Lovely person as well. So you know, just yeah, brilliant. I've had some more games of his, but they're just too brilliant to show all of them. Because what I want to show you is Leela now. So Leela has been playing a lot of odds games recently, and on Light Chess as a bot, and it's the results have been pretty impressive, I have to say. So in total, there's how many games was it? It was something like 1,300, 1,400 games. In games where the knight b1 is missing, over about, I think it's 1,100 games, Leela's got a 28-18 performance versus an average Lichess ELO of 23.89, with the average game lasting 30 moves. Yeah, scored 472.5 out of 511 at Bullet, 505 out of 551 at Blitz, 57 out of 61 at Rapid. So, you know, that's pretty impressive. In the games where the knight g1 is missing, Leela's made 29.07 performance against an average ELO of 23.06, with an average game length of 27 moves, and it's made 95.5 out of 99 at Bullet, 109.5 out of 113 at Blitz, and 32.5 out of 33 at oh, I've got I can see that the stream seems to be on air somehow. Whoa, wait a minute. Let me now pin David, and I'm hoping then that now why is Larry? Larry is actually coming up as the person on my stream here, and I'm not quite seeing David yet. But anyway, we will see about that. We will see about that, how that works. Allow David to share his screen. Right, okay. Let me just do this. I'm allowed to wait a minute. Spotlight for everyone. Cancel. Wait a minute. I've got to allow people to share their screen. That should be easy, shouldn't it? Advanced sharing options. All participants. There we are. I think I've done it now. I think everyone can. Yeah, under security. Yeah, I think I've got it. Share screen. Advanced sharing options. Who can share? All participants. Yeah, that's great. That's cool. So I think everyone can do that now. Let's have a look how Leela is playing then at odds. It's pretty cool. So this is without a knight. So we're getting some London system. I believe that there is going to be a book, a little book, so that Leela's not completely predictable. I guess that it's a book taken from there. So yeah. So yeah, offering the b2 pawn as well. So you can see Leela. That's great. That's all good. That all seems to be working brilliantly. So cool. That's lovely. That's great. Let me just go back to my other screen. Multitasking here. Oh, good Lord. That's not what I want. I want to go here and live. That's what I want to see. Great. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that. Just trying to get everything together. Yeah, somehow I'm seeing Larry here. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter. So Leela, again, as you can see, offering a b pawn. So Leela's clearly got this this idea of yeah, I know exactly how to do it. Offer some more pawns, get complete chaos, and maximize the winning chances. So bishop g7, bishop back to c1, not doing it anymore, chasing away. But somehow, with all the time wasted with the black queen, yeah, and the fact that Leela's knight on g1 has gone, so the king side is better developed, we just get this sort of position. And what Leela seems to be doing really effectively, despite not having a piece, is gaining space. So pawn usage of pawns is incredibly, yeah, bishop c1 is quite funny. Usage of pawns is incredibly good here. So really, you know, gaining space and not even accepting the piece here. So not wanting to free black by taking a piece, just letting black just suffer behind this wall of pawns. And queen g2, rook e3. Yeah, all manner of pieces being offered. Of course, queen h7 is coming in, bishop g4, and yeah, I mean, it's unclear really whether white is better here, but it soon goes that way. King d2 is a nice move because this rook is trapped. You can see actually that all the black pieces somehow have been rendered completely passive as well. And rook takes c3, takes, knight f5. And well, all of a sudden in this position, we're back to what could have arisen from a normal game where white sacrificed a rook for a couple of minor pieces. But yeah, I mean, black's pieces are just completely awful. Bishop behind this pawn, rook on the open file, the king's weak, you know, black's so better. But yeah, it's just normal Leela domination. That's exactly right, Patrick. Only, yeah, it's all done with the piece less. So this move, queen b2, is very nice, just looking to come into b6. And yeah, black blundered in the end. And resigned there. Pretty strong player, Batansiar, you know, 2350, and I think he got higher actually, and his rating went higher, I think, later on. But yeah, you know, I mean, this was just kind of outplayed. And it's kind of hard to sort of see, well, how did that go wrong exactly? Where did it go wrong? It was just being outplayed somehow, which I think is it seems to me like it's another level of odds play somehow. Obviously there's going to be the difficulty in terms of beating any engine from a piece up when time is short. I think that's going to be quite tricky, but there's also this very dangerous thing about the skill of the play being shown. Just looking at the time there, let me show you. Was there another really nice game I wanted to show you? Oh, there was one absolutely spectacular one. Wait a minute. Let me just. Have I missed that one? I probably missed it, but this one was pretty good, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, this one was pretty good. So this was against a pretty strong player in Bullet, this one. So Bullet's always going to be quite tough. Don't know whether increments were used there. Queen d3 from Leela. Why not? Knight d7, bishop d2, e5 takes, f5. I would say that in general, these are not good things to give to Leela. These sort of kingside things where you can just push the kingside pawns like this. This is tending to get rather dangerous. So g4, again, Leela just sacking another pawn, open up lines, gain some tempi, and in we go with h4 and h5. Just non-stop attack here. It's really, really incredible. So g takes f5 played, the pawn moved, and e takes f5. And actually what Leela's managed to do here, sacrificed another pawn, of course. So black is now a piece and a pawn up, but managed to get some great squares for the pieces. And also, the black pieces somehow are very passive in their own position. Just somehow, that pawn sacrifice has worked beautifully. So black gets castled. Rook df8 and bishop h3, Leela keeping control. And then actually a tactical mistake from black. It's not an obvious one by any means. Readmit David to the call. Yes, I certainly can. Yes, there we are. I wonder if I could make somebody somebody a host. There we are. I've re-enabled David. He's in there. Right. I should probably have a little look at that, shouldn't I? If only I was a better Zoom. We don't use Zoom at all in my company, so that's why I'm not particularly strong at it. So a tactical mistake, which is not obvious, but this happens. So c4, and it means that Leela's getting back the piece. But always with these odds, that's the beautiful thing about it is that you'll win back material, but you also lose part of your initiative by doing that. And it's always the question about, well, how good is it? You've got the psychological edge that you've got the piece, the material back, but maybe it's just going to turn up being just good for the opponent. But actually, the amazing thing is that Leela, has actually, of course, seen further tactically, because this is very clever from black. Maybe black even spotted this earlier. You can go back to c7, and after check, there's c takes d5 check, and if you go knight c3, there's d4. Only Leela spotted king b1, takes queen f5, king b8, and now this gorgeous idea, rook c1. And it's all about the domination of the pieces here. Unfortunately, the black queen cannot move anywhere because the 8th rank is completely blocked, and rook c8 mate will happen. Don't ask me how it's happened. I don't know how it's happened, but it's just beautiful play, and queen c1 was necessary, but obviously, Leela just wins this sort of stuff in its sleep. Hey, Nighty. So, and that was another, very strong player just put aside. So, I mean, a stream of mine wouldn't be complete if I hadn't given it a go myself. Against Leela. I was trying to get to actually play the bot, but it was kind of busy yesterday afternoon, so I didn't manage to do it. So I just ran it on my own machine. It's all right. It's a NVIDIA RTX 3080, decent laptop one, but sort of decent. Also running a T80 net, so not the latest net at all. But well, you're going to see. It was quite a challenge. I know that Mr. Beats always enjoys seeing me have a little go at Leela. Now you can see the result already, but the result was a little bit sad, really. So let me flip the board, and I will be me, and then we can see how it went. So d4, d5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop f4, c5, e3, queen b6. Playing a London system without a knight on b1. Normally knight c3 would be a decent answer here. So I felt I was sort of safe here. a3 and g6, and now c4. And I sort of wondered here, really. I mean, I could just play, kind of safely. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I always have the approach with engines that if I believe in my calculation, then I will play it because, I want to play my game against engines. I don't want to start trying to be someone else. So I calculated this a certain distance and decided that this was fine. So d takes c4. Leela played bishop takes c4. So giving up another piece just for winning chances. Now this rook is hitting the queen on c4, and the bishop on c8 is behind it. Ha! Yes, indeed. Head to head. I'm afraid it's it's not good for me. Not good. So queen e6 and then knight g5. I was I'd looked at a couple of moves. Knight d4 is possible as well, but I go queen d7 and queen d8, and I've got two extra pieces. I'm all right. But knight g5 was always going to be the dangerous one. But I calculated this line: queen d7, queen b3, and now this move knight d5. And what am I doing with knight d5? Well, I'm blocking f7. I'm also covering c7. And I mean, the main point is that rook c7, I can actually just take. This looks very dangerous, but it's not. I'm actually all right here with black, and I've got vast amounts of material. Now, of course, I might end up losing this knight on d5, but I had the feeling that I was going to be able to either pick up material for my queen or just get castled. So castles here. I played knight c6. It might be that e6 was a stronger way of doing it, but I sort of calculated knight c6 originally, so I went for it. And now rook fd1, and this I calculated vaguely when I played, actually took on c4 a line, and I calculated it now just a little bit further, and I decided that this was going to be some prime quality content. So I decided that I was just going to be completely winning here. So this is what I did. I played e6, e4, and now knight takes f4. So I'm grabbing material. This is really a very typical odds game, I can tell you. Rook takes d7. Well, I don't want to take on d7 particularly necessarily. There's some stuff that might well be happening there. But what I wanted to do was play knight e2 check and knight c1. And this rook on d1 is attacked, and the queen on b3 is attacked. So white plays queen c3. That's obvious. I play bishop d7 and queen h8. And well, I've got this position where I've got rook and three pieces for the queen, and obviously this should just be winning for me, but it's not as easy as all that. White is actually threatening knight takes h7, takes f8, and I was, you've got to be wary of what the queen can do. Actually, what white's going to play when knight h7 takes f8, you're actually taking the h pawn and you're freeing the h pawn for counterplay. And the thing was here, I felt that I must have some clear win. Something with knight d4 or something or other should be completely winning here, but I could not make it work. Knight d4 is interesting. The idea is here check. If you go king g1, I've got knight e2 check, but you go king e1, and I go knight d3 check, for example. But I could never get any good discovered checks. King e2, I thought that e5 was quite nice. I thought that was really good for black, because it's a bit tough for the white queen. There aren't that many good squares for it. But I couldn't really make king d2 work. Rook d8, then there's stuff like queen f6 or even queen h8, and couldn't make it clear. I couldn't make it clear at all. So in the end, what I went for was probably quite a decent line. I played e5, takes and castles, knight f8, and then bishop e6. Two ideas to this. First of all, I'm threatening rook d1 check. Secondly, I'm anchoring the f7 pawn with my bishop. So what that means is that white isn't going to get at these pawns, which means that this knight is going to have to come out the long way, basically. So I'm going to have lots and lots of time. It's a bit of a shame I've given away the two bishops. It makes it harder to attack the white king, but I felt that that I was going to have chances. So g3, bishop c4 check, king g2, knight d3. This is still very, very dangerous for the white king. I mean, I think I'm completely winning. Knight e1, well, I should be. I started knight up, but still, I am still completely winning here. Knight e1 check is quite dangerous. So he went queen h6, and I went knight d4. I mean, the storm clouds are really gathering for the king there. So Leela went knight h7, knight e1. And yeah, I mean, if you go to h3, then I think I'm mating somehow, or getting very close indeed. I think I am actually going to manage to mate this somehow. So, but Leela went back to h1, which I thought was mating as well. What I'm aiming to do, I'm aiming somehow to get this set up in. So the knight coming to d3 to f3, and then playing bishop f1 to g2. So I played bishop e2, Leela went h4, and now knight f3. The one thing I've got to be careful about, by the way, the reason I can't go bishop f1 straight away is that queen c1 check is picking up, well, not picking up the knight, but it forces me to go knight c2. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to play the bishop to e2. So if queen c1 check happened, I have knight c2, and I'm getting rook d1 check in super fast. That was the idea. So h4 was played, and now knight df3. I'm protecting this knight on e1 now, and I'm going to play bishop f1 to g2 checkmate. And Leela played knight g5 here, and I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. It's one of those things. I mean, I'm not playing super fast here. I probably took 10, 15 minutes for the game in total. I was trying to play tempo with a few occasional thoughts, little things. I couldn't find a clear way, but I thought what I found was pretty good. I played just f6. So if the knight moves along, I just sack it. I'm just going to deliver mate like this. So knight f3 played, check, king h2, bishop e4. So I'm threatening knight f3 check, which is going to be quite unpleasant. So queen c1 and knight c2, f3 and bishop d3. And I'd assume that this was completely winning for me, because actually the bishop and the knight are covering all of the squares for advancing this e-pawn. So I'm going to play f5, e4, e3, e2, e1, and there's nothing that white can do about it. That was basically my thought. However, I should have been slightly more alert, because we've often talked also in Silicon Road. I wrote a whole chapter on it. The stockfish queen. The idea that the queen is a tile queen as well. Queen against rook and two minor pieces. Very tile way of playing, and somehow I just couldn't get free. Queen d2, if f5, queen c3 check is going to win that pawn. I think if that pawn goes, I'm definitely not better. And I was trying to find some sort of way of doing it. Rook d4 was actually my original idea here, shielding the pawn from queen c3, so I can go here. That was actually what I'd thought. But I suddenly spotted queen h6, and we're going to come around the back. So if I go f5, you just go queen h8, take c5. And I just couldn't find a way to do this properly. And I was starting to feel the pressure, like, come on, Matthew, you've got to keep on moving. So I played rook d5 just to protect the pawn on e5, g4, f5, h5. And I got a bit nervous here, obviously, because this h pawn is running. But unfortunately, after g takes h5, I mean, gh5, e4, everything's good, fine again in the garden of Sadler. But g takes f5 was played, and I can't take back, obviously, because I'm pinned. And the queen's getting active now, so it's all. Yeah, I mean, actually, this is probably I'm probably not better anymore. This is probably just a draw. yeah, it would probably the clever thing to do now would be to say, and and this is just going to be drawn. Obviously, I'm not going to lose this. But I decided, for the interests of fairness, to keep on playing. And well, it just shows that I was playing instantly by now, but it just shows you can lose pretty much any position. Leela was making this actually really difficult. I was desperately trying to get. Oh, that's good. I can see people now on the stream. I can see somebody. I'm not sure who it is, but I can see somebody on the stream. So that's maybe good news. So if I just pin David, maybe I can do that. David is sharing his screen, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's pinned. He's pinned. Yeah, pretty sure David is pinned there. So I'm hoping that that's going to work. So, and let me just put the volume down there to 0 so that nobody can hear. That should be good. We might be able to see David. You never know. I'm not sure. Yeah, pin before game starts. So, well, I'm trying to pin him so that you can see David when I can hopefully enable it, and then you're going to see David's face whilst he's thinking. That's what I'm hoping. So Leela was actually making it very difficult. I just would like to get my king back to a7, and then I'm completely safe. But somehow Leela was making it impossible for me to do that and not lose my a pawn. I could actually lose a lot of pawns and still be drawn here. But David Navara, that's the one I'm trying to make central, but it's not quite working somehow. Never mind. So I'll just show you the end of the game. I'm sure Mr. Beads wants to see this. So h4, king f4, h3. I was just trying to get the queen away, and I thought I was coming back, but now Leela's king got involved, and I'm still not quite free. And now the queen, and I was just thinking, oh, for heaven's sake, I'm never going to be rid of this this menace, because I've got various things that are rather worrying. If rook d4, then stuff like this is actually checkmate, or very soon checkmate. So I played the move b5, thinking, well, after a b5, I'll take on b5 and be done with it. Leela will take my e pawn, but then I'm going to draw. But unfortunately, at this stage, I got hit with b4 check, which was rather evil, I have to say. So king takes b4, queen d5 happened. Would have happened. So I took on b4 and a5, and I was just completely gone by now. Completely gone. So there we are, b1 queen, a8 queen, and I think this is lost in actual fact. But I went bishop c4, and unfortunately I became mated with queen d6 check, king e5, and queen f6 checkmate. So that was it. What lessons can we draw from this? Well, in actual fact, I do think that the key thing is how cool you can remain. I think as you're getting short of time, and you have to put away the game because, as you can see, it's just unbelievably difficult to put this away. I did play another game, not so interesting in actual fact, where I was a piece up somehow, and unfortunately got swindled and failed to win. But it is possible to do it. But yeah, it's just if there's a little bit of tactics or whatever, if you lose control of the position, then very, very dangerous. So I'm tending to think an even matchup in actual fact. In this one, it should be very, very interesting indeed. So especially seeing David's games could be brilliant. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm just going to start sharing Firefox, Lichess, because yeah, I'm hoping the Lichess page, we're ready to start. Okay, what is the Lichess? The Lichess is just a Leela bot page, right, Naphtha? I can just follow it here. There we are. It started. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'm seeing somebody else at the moment. I'm not seeing David, so I'm not going to share the screen. I'm afraid this is maybe not going to work completely. But so what have we got here? David playing quite sensibly here, and just pretty. Leela playing, yeah, some sort of B3 Nimzo here. Knight C6, quite reasonable. Okay. Yeah, Leela, quite interesting actually. Leela doesn't mind even swapping off a pair of minor pieces. Doesn't mind doing that. So will be interesting. I mean, Bishop C6, Knight E5 is what you do normally. I'm wondering whether it's very sensible from David, just waiting. Let's see what Leela's gonna do here. D4. We're going to get back into some sort of Zukertort thing. So yeah, the normal thing if you had an extra knight, you'd play bishop takes c6 and then put the knight on e5. But I think David would probably follow up with knight d7 afterwards and try and sort of deal with that. So this is actually quite a decent approach from Leela. You've gone back into some sort of Zukertort thing, and actually Black's bishop has been moved to d7 here, so it hasn't been able to come out. So knight e4, and f5. I wonder whether David's going to play. He's going to play f5. I think he's going to play a Stonewall maybe. David's doing this pretty well, I think. He's not giving Leela the space, right? With he's not letting Leela play a5 and all of that. f5. He's also playing a Stonewall Dutch. I wonder whether he's been looking at David Smurden's games. Interesting. So okay, yeah, Zukertort. Yeah. I was quite surprised, by the way, that I was expecting it to be a bit like Contempt Leela, that Leela would give itself a positive evaluation even when it was a knight down. But it's not like that, because Contempt Leela, tends to think it's always just winning all the time. But so what is Leela going to do here? B4. So grabbing space. Okay, we swapped off some pieces. That's the thing about Leela. Leela's sort of judging this quite nicely in general. But I think David's just going to go knight a7 now. That seems like very natural to me. Knight a7 and then try and play the bishop to b5. If queen e2 to stop it, we go queen e8. Queen a8. That feels that's a just a natural way of playing. Yeah, okay. Knight a7 played. So far, David's doing really well. I think he's. I like what he's done. He's got his center. The one thing you've got to be careful about is not to allow that knight on f6 to get kicked back. Queen e2. This was very clever, by the way, from Leela, bringing the knight onto b5. So I think if David's queen had got in, it would have been very annoying, difficult to avoid exchanges. Yeah, but this is the crucial part of the game now. Because this is the part of the game that I found very difficult against Leela. Simply, you get out of the opening fine, you've got control, and now you've got to, you've got to keep on playing positively whilst not giving anything away, and it can be quite tricky. But I think David's doing really well here. So I mean, g5 would be very natural. Definitely be rook b8 from David. Interesting. I wonder what his idea is there. I do wonder whether people need to. By the way, on the stream, I do wonder whether people need to accept the fact that it's being live streamed. I'm seeing a couple of people on there. I'm wondering whether everyone's accepted. There's a thing that says okay on the Zoom live stream to to show the game, but I'm wondering about that. But never mind. Don't bother David about it. It's all fine. The link. Yeah, okay. That's if with the link you get onto my you get onto the stream itself. But that's what I'm seeing. Is it okay? Okay. Then the Zoom call is not working at all in terms of live streaming. Sorry about that, guys. It was working yesterday, but I did think it was a little bit cheesy. So in the meantime, we're moving on. David, 2 minutes 38. He's doing fine. He's doing great. He's also swapping off the rooks. So in general, you would say David's doing a great job here. The only thing you can say though is that people have don't bother David. He's playing now. There's no point. Don't bother him at all. It's but I have seen people losing these sort of things against Leela. But I think David's playing his time so sensibly that this is looking really, really good. Yeah, this is under control. Excellent. David's doing a really good job here. Oh, this is good. This is good. I wonder if he's going to bring his king to c6, actually. This might well be part of the plan. Or just bring his king nice and safe. And then afterwards... g4. G4. What is g4 about? Interesting. Okay, queen g4. Creating a little bit of play there. But... yeah, shouldn't be obviously shouldn't be enough, but you're creating a bit of air around the king there, so you're going to get some better chance of perpetuals. This is where I get really nervous. I can tell you, it's and this is where I start finding it really tough to keep moving. But in principle, if you can reach some sort of blockade position like this, e5, queen g4, wow. So knight takes d4 now. This is getting more and more towards the point where you say, and David is never ever going to lose this. So that's a very reassuring point indeed. And okay. Now this should be, in principle, this should be trivial for white, for black rather. So king f7. David's doing it really nicely with the time here. Check. Queen h3, I guess. Yeah, it's just a question of I think queen e4. And then maybe bishop e5 is going to be really strong here. F3, fair enough. Queen e5, I think, most probably here. It's pretty good. Queen e2 check is nice refinement. I think d3 here is going to be pretty damn good. Yeah, this is always, you just, as a human player, you feel a little bit tired around these points, just saying, come on, resign, will you? It's queen e7, yeah, and then queen f4 will go bishop f6, and that's going to be, well, there we are. Well, David's not gonna have any problems with this. Well done, David. Very convincing win. Really good, really good, really good, really good. Going to enjoy that. Excellent start. Now don't stalemate. That's the only thing. Brilliant. Super. Well done, David. Good game. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. Kept beautiful control there. Beautiful control. It's so I think he's very happy with that, and I would definitely think I would definitely say excellent, wonderful play. Let's have a look. Have a look at the next one. So I think he's having just a little bit of a break. He started it up, and off we go. Leela playing G3. Accelerated Catalan this one because obviously we that was game one of the match, Matthew. So because your knights, so David's playing very classically here, which I think is very, very good indeed. Playing it quite not giving any craziness, just keeping it all together. But I can tell you that it's harder to do than you think. I mean, I was talking with Naptha, the Leela developer, who's sort of behind all this sort of stuff, and he was sort of saying, well, we're hoping that it's could be a good training for human players playing this. And I said a few days ago I would have said, oh, don't believe that, but now I really do. I think it's really I really think it's very interesting. And I think what you could really do as well, I think what David is doing, he's playing it absolutely beautifully. If he carries on playing like this, then it's he's going to make a big score, which is going to be really impressive. But what you could also do, you could try and play Leela, trying to beat it using different openings. For example, a King's Indian or a modern or any sort of thing like that. And because I think Leela's been scoring enormously in sort of King's Indian type structures, even a knight down. So you could try all sorts of things like that. And I think it's in any case, it's a very good concentration test where you sort of say, well, I'm just going to practice keeping myself together, keeping myself disciplined, not making any mistakes for a long period of time, and winning like that, it's well, Marcus, I mean, David won the first game, so I think he's doing pretty well at the moment. It's pretty good. So David's just he's doing a nice job here of just at the moment before Leela might be trying to get the pieces active, he's swapping them off, which is really, really good. So I mean, I think one thing that might could play a little role, of course, is tiredness, of course. It's I mean, it's a bit of a strain doing this, I can tell you. I was completely cooked after a couple of games with Leela like this. Just the strain and the stress of being winning, and I mean, to be honest, the thing that always amazes me about the chess professionals there who keep on going for years and years and years, it's it's the stress of putting away winning games that really kills you. It's because every time you need plenty of attention, you need plenty of care and everything, and it's so hard to keep on doing that. But now this is quite interesting actually, because I think rook takes d6 would be a gorgeous way to swap off a lot of pieces. Yeah, that's what David has gone for. Well, I think David's going to be very happy with this. We're going to take on d1, take on c1. Now, this again would normally be absolutely, completely winning for white. But as I said, I played another game with Leela where I was a piece up in an endgame and failed to convert. So I'm not feeling like the one who can say this is easy. But in principle, yeah, this is really good. But this is actually a really good technique practice, and you do actually see that the the strongest blitz players are really, really good at converting these positions. If anyone's watched me streaming blitz, you'll know that this is not one of my fortes, converting these sort of positions. I find this quite. I just find the stress of getting shorter of time and having to make moves regularly. I find it very, very difficult. So. But okay. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, because especially as black as well, you feel the pressure. You don't want to draw this position. That would feel like a loss, really. So you want to win this. But yeah, there's just all sorts of decisions that you have to make. What I did actually in that game that I failed to convert a piece up, I thought I'd found a shortcut to making the game one, and it turned out that it wasn't a shortcut. Oh, I think if the queens come off, then David's going to be very happy. So I think queen d3 is definitely going to be played. But I think queen c1, Leela can still try and hold on like that. Yeah. It's the first time anyone's told me I speak slowly. My goodness. This is good move. Good move. That was I regretted that in the game that I failed to convert. I wasn't taking the time to make all these consolidating moves. So this is David's doing it well. I mean, maybe you should just go g6, king g7 now. Just make your king nice and safe. There's no danger at all, you know. But this is the difficulty, right? That's easy. Should be easy for black. This is kind of the that is very friendly. I think David will be very happy with that. That takes away any chances at all. That's not good contempt play from Leela. That one. F takes e4, absolutely. Now this is just one. This is one. I will give you 100% that David will make this, no doubt. This is too easy. Yeah, David's doing an amazing job here. He's keeping complete control here. This is really, really, really good. Queen h5. It's all over. Wow, this is really convincing. Really impressive, this. Really, really impressive. Now, somebody said in the chat that T80 plays better. But on Contempt, I don't know. I would imagine not. Imagine that BT4 is pretty cool. But this is really Leela's not managing to make anything at all against David. It's really impressive. You know, I know it's a piece, but still, you know, we've seen what Leela's been doing to other engines and to other players, and what Leela did to me. And this is just total control from black. Wonderful stuff. Knight c5, a5, knight b3 check. This is very smooth, brilliant, lovely. David's going to enjoy this one. Queen coming home, t-shirt over the head. I think David's looking for the optimal way. Very nice, lovely. Gorgeous. Well, this is looking very smooth. Excuse. Yeah, 500k nodes is quite a bit. I was playing on 10,000 actually, which seemed to work quite well. I wasn't actually intended, but I noticed afterwards that I was playing on 10,000. That seemed plenty strong enough to me. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Well done, David. He's looking. I can see him in the chat. He's looking quite. He's looking quite relaxed here. I think he's definitely prepared himself well here, and he's executing absolutely beautifully. So she might be hitting 500k on Windfish's hardware. This is with 4 GPUs behind it. I think it probably only takes something like yeah, I don't know, half a second. It's yeah, okay. He's looking quite. David's looking pretty relaxed there. So let's have a look. See what he does next. So what's he going to do? Is he? If I was him, I'd keep on going for in the same time control. Just keep on going on that, and maybe could consider sort of. David wants to join your stream. Ah, great. Okay, he can click on the link. If he just clicks on the link, then I should see him. Now let me just. I've got DW, which I think is WFB. I can see Larry Kaufman. If he just clicks on the link that I sent on the mail, he should be able to. Should be able to do it. Let me just. I'll just send it round again. Yeah, David WFB is in there, and I can have up to 10 people. So reply all. Look, this. I'll just send him the stream URL again, just in case he hasn't seen it. There's been a lot of mails there. In a waiting room. No, I should see him. I should see him just popping up at the bottom of my screen here. There are so many Davids. It's true. It's very confusing. But I've got David WFB, which I don't think is that. I've got Larry Kaufman, who's clicked on that link. I can add up to 10 guests. So I should have them, but so far I haven't seen David. But there he is.
Yes, I had just Zoom meeting chat. Welcome everybody. Sorry, there was some technical problem.
No worry, David. Brilliant to see you there. Well played. Amazing. Brilliant stuff.
Thank you. Actually, I had seen that Chess Network had played the same line against Leela not long ago in the first game. So I was sort of prepared for
this. Yeah, you're playing very nice and classically, and that seems to be perfect.
Yes, really, I tried to keep the things under control, and this time it worked. So I think we will switch to 3+2 blitz, but I will first take 3-minute break. And if you want some comments on the games, as for the first game, it was a theoretical line, perhaps with colors more familiar with colors, with the colors reversed. I tend to play this structure with both colors as I play Nimzo Indian and occasionally Queen's Indian defense with black. Yeah. And I sometimes play E3 against Nimzo Indian defense with white quite often. So I sort of know these structures well, and it was essential to prevent white from pushing b4, b5 and to exchange pieces there, and then it was safe. And they did. I can. Sorry, my camera still doesn't work. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah, we'll have to probably leave the Zoom. Once you leave the Zoom call, I think your camera will work on here. I think it's the cameras on the Zoom call is taking.
But I'm afraid that so if I leave the camera on Zoom now, but I'm.
Yeah, don't worry about it. The sound is good too. We'll have you at the end. We'll at the end of the match. Maybe we'll end the Zoom call and then.
Yes, I'm afraid of manipulating with this because it has already caused some problems. So
yeah, don't give yourself any stress, David. It's great. We're having a great time watching you. That's the most important thing.
Okay, now it works.
Brilliant.
All right. Basically, in the first game, it was mostly about maintaining control over the b5 square and exchanging bishops. And in the second game, I again tried to keep control and exchange pieces, keep my and like this, keep my king safe, and so on. I will now take a 3-minute break if you would not mind.
Yeah,
and
super. Yeah, fantastic.
Do you have any question here?
No, everyone was just really amazed at how you're playing, David. So keep it up, and we're having a great time watching you.
Okay, thank you. See you later. Goodbye.
See you later. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Yay, that worked. Yeah, I think the Zoom call thing is just really, it's always a little bit cheesy, but I can just invite people directly onto the stream. So that's probably a better idea for the future. Yeah, no, fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah. So that's been pretty interesting. I mean, just in general, Windfish. I don't know if you're in the chat. Special nerve situation like normal. Yeah, that's a good, really good question, Cam. That's we'll ask him. We'll ask him how it feels playing like this. It's Windfish. I mean, is there playing a theoretical line with your opponent and knight down, does that make a huge difference in terms of the optimal lines needed? Yeah, I don't know really. I mean, Leela's sort of playing around and not doing quite the normal stuff somehow. But it's I think, yeah, David just I think. Well, yeah, he played just some very natural. I mean, what he's really doing, he's playing very classically. He's just developing his pieces. He's keeping his king safe, and that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Robin. We'll ask him as well. I'll make a note of those. I'll keep a note of those questions. Shout them out again when he comes next on the stream. It's yeah, he keeps his king safe, and he's never doing anything crazy, and but at certain moments he's taking the just a calculated opportunity to swap off some pieces, and but it's difficult to do. It's really difficult to do that well. You've got to be very controlled all the way through. So yeah, excellent, really excellent what he's doing. But just I was just wondering actually about the are the contempt settings the same as the Leela bot, because we're running on a different. I think we're running on different hardware, right? For this match, it's not the same hardware as the and software as the Leela bot. I was just wondering. Contempt is 200. Okay. 200. Yeah, I mean that seems to be the sweet spot, doesn't it? In general. It's and yeah, that the bot has been scoring really well. So if it's the same settings, then yeah, then as the Leela bot, then that's great. I was playing yeah, my settings. I was playing with Contempt 200 as well, 3200 elo, and then the moves left threshold 0.95, I think. So yeah. It's I was vaguely having those settings and it was playing pretty well, really. So yeah, no, that's yeah. This Contemptla bonus on the TCC was just incredible, really. It was, but you can tell that your machine is more powerful than mine because enough talking. Okay, so B1 knight is gone. I actually think that removing B1 knight is better than G1 knight for in terms of odds. But oh, and we're at 3+2. So David has upped the ante there. Wow, excellent. Excellent. Bishop e2. So Leela's just playing quite calmly there. But I think David's just going to keep on going with the old. He's just going to play bishop d6 and all of that. I think David will just play bishop d6, maybe b6. Nah, bishop d6, I think. Okay, Leela's going to go b4, bishop b2, I guess. A little bit of imbalance. A3, okay. I think David's going to play a5, to be honest. I think he's trying to keep Leela bottled in, or he might go bishop d6 just to play a quick knight e5. That's also quite a common plan. I mean, David is going to feel the pressure just a little bit more of the time. Okay, knight e5. I'm pretty confident about. Okay, this is looking very pleasant now. Maybe queen c7 here, and we're going to threaten knight c4 as well. Just keep that bishop tied down. David's done this really well. This opening preparation is proving really good. I think what we may end up seeing is that David's actually coming up with a pretty optimal way of playing these odds games from an opening perspective. But yeah, but it would be interesting trading to play 1 g6 or something like that, and just try and play some King's Indian setup. That would also be quite interesting there. Ooh, okay. I think David is going to claim the light squares in the name of Czechia. It's this is Leela. Okay. The only thing is, of course, there's the extra time pressure now, but David is in complete control here. So we're going to have to play f3 here. There's no other way. You can't allow the... Whoa! Actually, queen e4 would have swapped. Yeah. Okay. There's no need, but queen e4 would have forced the swapping of queens. So f3. Don't know whether that's going to irritate David just a little bit, because you could have just swapped off the queens there, which would have been. Well, I mean, almost game over, to be honest, you would have thought. But okay, this is beautifully under control still. What would I want to do here with black? Yeah, this is very sensible. Maybe even h5 would have been interesting, just to play h4. But this is just quite nice and simple. But again, don't underestimate how tricky... Hey, Alexander. Don't underestimate how tricky it is to put away engines under these circumstances. You really, it really is so difficult. Rook d4 now is possible, because queen b3 allows rook a3 winning the queen. Okay, rook d2. David expected rook d4, I think, but yeah, this is a bit irritating. A little bit irritating now, but I think he can play something like knight e7 or knight f6 and threaten the exchange of rooks. So that's not bad. Now, the question is whether Leela's got a bit of magic here to, I mean, maybe c4 here. Yeah, this is going to be, this is getting slightly irritating. Queen d2, because if queen c4, we've got rook c, oh no, rook c1 do just queen d5 actually. Ooh. So what is wrong with queen c4? Oh, queen d5. Queen c3 maybe. No, this is not. Oh well, this has worked out very well. David's doing it again. So bishop d7, bishop d7 maybe was quite nice. hitting a4. You've also got a threat of queen d1. But okay, wow, that's a bit passive. So again, this is all about control. But yeah, obviously David's playing with 30 seconds here. So yeah, this is a well, David set himself a challenge here, you know, with this time control. To be honest, that's not really the sort of move that you feel is going to make it with Contempt, a5. But this is very nice, though, what David's doing. That knight on the 8 is covering everything, and all the entry squares are covered. That's the point. So there's no way that anyone's getting anywhere. But yeah, yeah, again, these are the sort of positions, that sort of things where I just start getting nervous somehow, you know. Short of time, get flagged. I play without increments, my blips, but still, you know, it's, yeah. It's not easy, this, because there's no weaknesses in White's position here, and you've got to finish it off, really. This is kind of the sort of the, you know, the finishing off training I was talking about. Okay, queen d8, queen d1. Oh, strange move. It's good from David. Good, just keeping everything protected. Yeah, everything protected and covered. Now, the knight can actually maybe find a little square there. Ah, knight c7 to e6. Ah, David's good. He's good, this guy. Just playing these consolidating, strengthening moves very, very quickly. You know, this is excellent stuff. Now the king, now the black king can... oh, sorry, I'll remove the arrows. Sorry about that. Sorry, Zelda. I was expecting the king maybe to come to h5 now, I would play. Oh, okay, bishop e8. This is really controlled. This is really very nicely controlled. You're just gradually moving forward here. Oh, queen c2 looks quite powerful. Threatening knight takes f3 check. So, okay, nah, yeah, but this is now gone. Bishop h5 or something? Queen d3. Oh, that's a nice move. Coming round to e2. Bishop h5 feels quite nice to me. Maybe on the next move. Oh, well, there we are. That's gone. David will win this with 2 seconds left on the clock. Just mustn't get nervous, that's all. But nah, this is really impressive, actually. Really, really. Oh, brilliant, brilliant, Alexander. Yeah, the Contempt Leela is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really good. It's it's been a total joy, I have to say, doing all this. So I think the bishop's going to come around and attack the e4 pawn. Oh, that's very nice. Come on, David, keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. Now, bishop g4, I think. Oh, bishop c6 is good, yeah. Ah, there we are. That's fine. Take on e4, king f5. Oh, Leela. Yeah. Very smooth again. My goodness, Leela not getting any anything in here. Lovely, 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 lovely. Brilliant. Well, this is amazing, right? Incredible. Really beautifully controlled. Leela somehow just not getting any sort of indeed, indeed. I haven't got the EC chat open, but I think that a number of lace emotes are are hitting the TCC chat at the moment. Yeah, he's playing beautifully. He's playing absolutely beautifully. He's making it look really easy, and I can tell you it's not easy. Very, very good. In the zone. Right. Oh, now we've got a G1 knight missing. Oh yeah, this is one of Leela's openings. Queen D3. My goodness. What is that in aid of? So I guess C takes D4. We're going knight B5, aren't we now? We're going knight B5, surely. Or not? Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Now this is the first time. Okay, this is the first time. First time that Leela's got some. Well, maybe something a little bit wilder there. So David's going to need a little bit of calculation, I guess. I mean, Queen A5. What's happening here? Bishop D2. Oh, fair enough. We'll just go back. Ah, offering a draw. David doesn't want it. Yeah, this has got a bit crazy. This has got a bit crazy somehow. Was the book Windfish? Was the book was it based on lines that Leela had played or not? Because I'm wondering about this. Oh no! What is this? Swapping off queens. No, Leela. Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah, I wonder about the book. I'm having slight doubts about the book because Leela was playing was playing some slightly different stuff that Leela was playing normally. Wondering a little bit about the book, but okay. Again, this is harder to win than you might think. I can tell you. Certainly against an engine. Also, but this is not. Yeah, this is kind of. I think what this is not really a Leela Contemptla challenge. This is, this is more the general challenge of winning any position against engines now. But bishop pair is worth an extra knight. Yeah, it's. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, again, in this game, you don't really notice it, but every time Leela's looking to try and knock one of David's pieces offside, he's reacting, yeah, like a couple of moves in advance. Larry's filtering of Leela's choices. Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's fine. That's just what I was wondering, whether it was based on whether it was based on what Leela plays normally. That's all, because that's quite because Leela's really, yeah, got the stuff worked out somehow. Okay. Well, yeah, I wouldn't have thought that excluding repetitions would be particularly necessary, to be honest. I think a draw would be a good result. A draw is a good result, right? If you're giving odds in this way, anyway. I mean, I know it's not the old-fashioned way, but that's when you're playing somebody much weaker than you, but playing somebody much stronger. But okay, this is yeah. It's quite interesting. I mean, I think at some stage David's going to try and play b5 to b4. Maybe move the king out of the way first of all, and then yeah, this is this is the standard. Oh my goodness, when an engine just lie down and die, basically feeling. So yeah, e5. I think that's a good move. Some stage you're going to try and get him b5. This is yeah, c4. Oh dear, this is not easy for black. I can tell you, not easy at all. The rook needs to move somewhere. c6, I guess. Yeah. We've got bishop a6 coming in, maybe, but then c5. Yeah, this is anticipating it. So, oops, sorry. So here we can go c5. Whoa, c5. And we'll get cd intermezzo. So you don't particularly want to do that. Bishop d7, so I'll get rid of the arrows, sorry. Oh dear. Rook a2, okay. Yeah, c5's turning into going to be a bit of a massive threat. Wow, allowing it somehow. I guess so. I think if c5, you can just take and then the knight comes around to b7. That's fine. God, this is tense. Look at the time. And this is very difficult to do, I can tell you. Very, very difficult to do. Come on, David. Knight c7. Ooh, c5 looks dangerous to me. No, g5. That's also, we're coming around the other side. Knight a6. Whoa, it's all happening. It's all happening. What's happening? But this can't be good. Takes. Oh, you're going rook e2 check or something. You're going rook e2 check here, and c takes d5. He's going to do. Yay! Oh God, it's all happening. You've got to move to d8 now, I think. Oh, f7. I don't like that very much. We're going to get a g6 check in soon. G6, king g8. Whoa, rook e1. Oh, this is horrible. And look at David's time as well. He's got no time left. We've got c takes d5. C takes d5 is going to be horrible. We've got a6 hanging as well. Oh, this is. Oh, and yeah. Yep. This is very nasty. So bishop a6. I'm guessing now. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Oof, yeah, you're not going to survive this. You know, it's just impossible. I think. Yeah. Well, knight d6. You've got a self pin. Rook e6. Yeah, it's all gone. It's all gone. It's all gone. Rook d6. I guess probably the way to do it. Oh, we should have gone to e8 surely. Where's he going? Is David trying to do something with stalemate? I wonder. He is trying to do something with stalemate. But I don't think it's going to work. I think Leela's too. Leela doing things in a slightly peculiar way, but this is actually going to be pretty good. Oh yeah, bishop f6 is happening, and then g7. Yep. Yay! Yeah, I think that's the that's the time control there is definitely the issue there. That's a tough time control, I think we can say. Because what Leela got there was just some sort of position where it was quite hard for black to make progress, and yeah. it was just with the time running low like that, it's just incredibly difficult. Oh, wait a minute.
Welcome.
Hi,
Can you
David.
see? Yes, so this time it was not so good. I somehow lost control in the second game, and I also had 2 mouse slips in each game one, surprising on the C6 square. So I don't know if there is something wrong with my keyboard or not, actually, with my, not keyboard, but with my screen or not. But luckily in the first game it did not matter, and frankly speaking, in the second game it did not matter either, this bishop C6 or what was it, because the position was already beyond saving. But somehow I might have some technical issue. I don't know if this C6 square is somehow magical and it just there is some pressure on it or what. But in the first game, this was just this nonsensical move for Queen C4, C6, a loss of tempo. So you could have seen me doing like this because it was not a move which I had planned to make. In the second game, it was the same. I just lost control, and then when the position opened up, there was not enough time to handle the problems.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, just keeps the position. You didn't really have a very clear plan, something to create weaknesses, and it's just hard to keep the tempo up against the engine.
Yes, basically there were better options, but too little time to calculate it. Like e takes d5. There were some surprising intermediate moves, and I saw moves like knight b4, but with so little time, it's very hard to maintain control here. And okay, and now I will probably take a short break and continue with 3+2 blitz then.
Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
Fantastic. Lots of luck, David.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah, 3+2 is a really tough time control. I think, it's... But I think in general there, David is playing the opening absolutely beautifully, I have to say. So he's not giving Leela any sort of chance to create anything, So that part is going, really, really well. Only, the position that they got in this game, this is it's so hard because, this sort of position with the there's 2 bishops, there's space, and what can you say? I mean, it's very hard to see real targets in White's position. There are targets, but every time you try and target it, you get hit by stuff. So these are very, very difficult positions to play for humans against engines, and but I mean, again, it's you can probably again, this would be an excellent training as well. I mean, just if you get strong like this, and up your score in with this sort of thing, then maybe maybe you're really just really going to up your strength as well. So very very, very interesting. But David's playing beautifully. He's really controlling very well, and I think 3+2 is 3+2 is tough. I think for David, it's also going to be a test of stamina. I think definitely because you're going to start getting a bit tired after a while. It's quite a strain to do all this. But I think 3+2 is probably kind of good enough. I think that's going to be, but you need to get the position a bit opened and a bit. I guess that from that point of view, this sort of position, it just wasn't really open enough, and it's not easy when you're with 2 minutes or whatever to calculate opening lines, especially with 2 bishops to play against. That switch was actually quite beautiful. I do have to say, this whole and the whole preparatory play as well. That's this move G5 was really nice, and then this switch was absolutely gorgeous, and then you're hitting over on the A6 knight as well. It's just that it's that whole board vision that engines have. I mean, we're looking at one corner of the board all the time, and the engines just just manage to just managed to do it. 50 games would be a lot more informative, I see in the light chess chat, which is fair enough. But I think we're going to end up killing David if he has to play 50 games. Yeah, I mean, I think David's. I mean, this is David is I mean, you've got to say he's 3+2. He's giving himself a tough challenge there, but he's not shirking it at all. I think full marks to him for lots of courage there, and yeah, giving us great entertainment as well. So nothing but admiration for David. All righty. So what is Leela going to make of this one? Okay, we're going to get some sort of Benoni sort of thingy. Odd move. Yeah, d4. Wonder whether David would would take on d4 with a knight if you took like that. Oh, a3. That's clever. Clever. So Leela's going to go for. We've seen this a few times. Leela might go through. Leela might well go for a block centre position. We've seen this a few times. Yeah, indeed. This is interesting. It's interesting. Leela's won quite a few games like that, and but yeah, on the other hand, David's got a really good version of this. So. I was quite surprised, actually. Funnily enough, with Contempt, one choice that Leela has for playing for a win is the Czech Benoni as black, funnily enough, which is always makes me laugh because the English chess players had an expression that if something was really, really dodgy and unpleasant, it was a bit Czech Benoni. So it's. Tony Miles played the Czech Benoni from time to time, but he said he played it every 5 years. It took him that long to forget how bad it was, and then he played it again. He remembered again, and then he didn't play it for another 5 years. So now I think if we up the time from 5+3, then I think David is the way that David is playing. David will really make a very good score indeed. So it's I think we found that 5+3 is definitely an elite player like David. He's definitely favoured like that with some sensible openings. And that's might be fun to. Well, this is very interesting. It's a completely different type of opening, and going to be interesting to see how whether Leela can survive and whether David can put Leela away. The point is, this is quite blocked. It's going to take quite a lot of time, and he hasn't got that much time. So, yeah. But so far, doing a very pleasant job here. Just nothing good, nothing bad. Just solid and end a piece up. So. So I think Leela's probably going to play knight h4 at some stage. Yeah, I mean, I think the key. I think the key thing to realise is that a draw for Leela, in principle, is quite a good result there from a piece down against a very, very strong GM. So yeah, I'm not sure about avoiding repetitions, but I think at some stage David's just going to try and take on c4 maybe and swap off both rooks. Well, Leela retreating to the back rank. Is it going to be pieces back in the box for Leela? Well, I think David's done a good job here. He's definitely going to be able to exchange off both rooks. Breaking through is going to be slightly tougher, but again, with a longer time control, you really would say that your chances of making this as black is. Oh, thank you very much. We're on the live chess broadcast. Yay! Fantastic. Woohoo! Let me just have a quick look at that. Ah, fantastic, brilliant, super. Let me just, I'll put that in the chat just in case. Brilliant, super. So yeah, this is the question is, you know, you're going to need to. Oh, Leela, what is this? Swapping off the queens? Nah. What? No. Okay. 50 seconds. I would, to be honest, I would bet on David winning this one, to be honest, with the queens off. Not that it's easy, I'll give you that, but with the queens off. So David's preparing f5 there. Yeah, it worked last game, but it was a bit different somehow. Don't like this very much. Just keeping the queens on would be so much better somehow. Give so many more possibilities there for defense. Got a user called Hender spamming Leela with help commands. I think probably Windfish's box has got enough CPU and everything to deal with that. Well, Black's just gonna advance gradually. Knight on e6 is covering stuff nicely. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good, I think. 93. Yeah, I'm going to ignore that. They could probably play King F2, I think. Yeah, King F3 would have allowed Knight F1 there. Ah, Knight C2 going after the pawn. That's clever. Okay, Leela refusing. I think A5 to A4 now feels like a very sensible thing to do. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, A4. Oh, right. Okay. Well, that's nice. Yeah. I think David's going to bring that knight round to B6 soon. Yeah, this is beautiful. Yeah. Again, time is quite tricky, but oh, is that bishop coming round to G5 as well? Maybe. I think you bring your king. Do you just bring your king round to D6 somewhere, or to B6, or to C6 somewhere, and then just maneuver your knight round to B6. Sometime this knight is going to come to here and attack this A4 pawn. It's just the pure time challenge of doing it, but this is really nicely controlled. I mean, at some stage you might even consider sacking a knight somewhere, but so maybe, yeah. Oh, knight on is there. Bishop on E7 coming round to D6. I think that would be a good one. Bishop comes round to, yeah, this is excellent. Knight coming round to B6. Brilliant. Look at that. Okay, Bishop D8 is going to be played now. So after Knight B6, you're going to take. Ooh. Ah, Knight C6. Very nice. Oh, David, this is wonderful play. Wonderful play. Brilliantly controlled this. Just keep it going. Keep it going till the end. This is really excellent. Not giving Leela a single chance there. Brilliant stuff. Oh, I think Knight D1. Oh, this is quite nice, yeah. Bishop coming round to a5. Yeah, this is just a moment of slight frustration where you're trying to work out how on earth do I put this guy away. Oh, that's a good one. That's hitting the soft spot. This is incredible. Really good play. Really good play. Perfect. David will make this. No worries at all. G3 is going. We're playing E4 afterwards. Brilliant play. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. Yeah, no, to do this with 10 seconds, it's really, I can tell you, it's really hard. It's really hard. It's, yeah. The problem is when somebody does it as skillfully as David does, it looks quite easy. That's the only problem. Oh, sorry, did I call Leela a guy? No stalemate, please. Excellent. Well done. Well done. What a game. What a game. What a game. What a game. Excellent stuff. That was not easy, but that was brilliantly done. Yeah. Excellent. Definitely the best game so far, I think. But yeah, Leela swapping off the queens. I don't think that was a good idea. We'd expect more from Leela somehow. I think what David's doing really nicely is he's just, you know, he's finding these options to just get some swaps in at various stages and gradually reduce the risk that he's got as his time gets lower. You know, that seems to be aligned quite nicely. The one game that he lost there, he just didn't manage to get rid of the risk, and the risk carried on when he was short of time. You know, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Whoa! No! Whoa! 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 This is Steinitz stuff, isn't it? This. I can't believe Leela. Has Leela ever done this? Let me have a little look. I had a tree of what Leela has played. I'm just having a look in the background using my trusty Hierarchs Explorer. So let's have a look. It's with the knight on G1 missing. That's what we're looking for. E4, E5, D4. Yeah. Leela's played D4 10 times. 8 wins. No, 9 wins, one loss. 1 draw. 9 wins, 1 draw against rating of 2218 average. Wow. Let's have a look. Cancel. E takes D4, bishop C4. That's 1 game, bishop C4. Knight F6, E5. Oh, wait a minute. C3 is a novelty. We're going to start talking about opening theory in odds games now, aren't we? The question is, what's wrong with D5 actually? D5, bishop takes D5, and then G6. Or are we going to get another queen trade here? Now G6 now. What's wrong? What's this about? Oh, bishop takes C6. And queen E5 check. Sorry, oh dear me. Oh dear. Oops, sorry. So bishop D5. There was G6, then takes and queen E5 check. That was the point. Jesus. Oh God. Whoa. What's happening here? Oh God. This has gone bananas. This is not what David wanted. I'm pretty sure. But that is the point, of course. It's very hard to it is very hard to keep control all the time. But he's not bad this, because I think he's actually going to swap off the queens now. Yep, well done. So 2 pawns for the piece now. Okay. Interesting. 1 minute and 10 seconds to do it. This is not going to be easy, I think, because the position's a bit open. That's a strange move in some ways, to do it that early. Knight c3 now, or h3 maybe, to stop bishop g4. Looks a bit odd. h4? Sorry, I'm screaming in the stream. What is h4 in aid of? h4? Windfish, what's happening with your machine? Knight d2. Yeah, again, this is not what I this is not what I'd expect, put it that way. That, of course, doesn't mean quite as much as it used to in the good old days, but there's somebody in the light chess chat called Virens. I'm wondering whether it's not Viren, is it? It's not the crazy Leela dev. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, Leela's just exchanging off pieces here. What's going on? It is. Yay! Amazing. Why did you add the Z, Viren? Z. This is not look. Whoa. Does Leela think this is good? Yes, I read that he was. I read that he was also a stockfish, just like Mr. Beads, a major stockfish dev. Yeah, this is a bit. Surely this can't be. Yeah, although I mean, just look at my blitz games. I've lost these with black, but still. B3 maybe, I would have thought. King D4. Okay. Surely we play A4 here, don't we? Code in Leela, Mr. Beads. Well. Is that why Leela's struggling? Ooh. God, this is not easy. Oh, and with 13 seconds. My goodness me. But all the same. For H5. Oh. No, but this must be. Oh, you're coming. Oh, that's a nice capture with the king coming round to A5. I think David should just take the draw here. Oh, knight d5. No, it's going to be stalemate. Nah, stalemate. Oh, Leela, you sneaky. Oh, dear me. But David wins that mini match. 1.5-1/2. Very nice indeed. Very nice. So, yeah, those are tough to win. Those sort of knight against pawns thing. Yeah, maybe that's a good. Maybe Leela's just estimating that well. You know, it's that these endings are tough to win. Now, Viren was saying it's drawn, demonstrating some unusual chess skills for a Leela dev. So. Yeah, incredible. There's David.
Yes, welcome.
Hey, hello. Wow. Well done. You won that mini match again.
Actually, in the first blitz game now, I mean fifth, I again mouse slipped somehow bishop b8 d6 instead of bishop c7, but luckily it did not really matter.
Oh yeah.
And I was a piece up in the end game, and if the computer had tried pushing bishop d2 and f4, I might have regretted this, but luckily it didn't, and then I had enough time to regroup my pieces. And in the second game, I just lacked time towards the end because I spent a lot of time in the opening because this was quite tricky, this queen h5, and also at one point there was a minor disturbance issue, but okay, then it was fine basically. Okay, at the end I saw a stalemate coming, but did not have enough time to calculate the alternatives already.
Yeah, no, it's very those are really tricky to calculate with no time left.
Yes, so now there will be 2 games, 3+1 after some slightly longer break. I also need a break because it's quite exhausting.
Yeah, it's really tiring. I've played a few games at home and I'm completely gone after a couple. So it's brilliant. It's fantastic to watch. You're doing brilliantly, David. Really, everyone's having a really great time watching. So thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you. May I disconnect now?
Yeah, you can disconnect and we'll see you back when the games start.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Now there will be a slightly longer break, I guess, not on my demand, but I agree with it. I'm comfortable with it as well.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Okay,
good.
Thank you.
Have a bit of a rest and see you in a bit. Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting. So 3+1 he's going for. So he's making things even more difficult for himself. My goodness. Yeah, I think that's really, I got to say, full marks for courage and all of that, because he's really pushing himself to the limit there. So I mean, let's have a look at. I thought this game that David won was very, very nice. I mean, as I said, I've seen quite a few Leela games where Leela's gone for this sort of block center and then just kind of outlasted the opponent. Some they've won. Some Leela has just won by itself, and others, Leela has just one on time simply. It's quite tricky to keep control, but David did it really, really nicely. I mean, playing just some very nice safe moves like rook c8, just protecting the pawn on c5 here. Excellent. Putting the pressure on the bishop on g4 here. You can't drive it away with h3. If you try and challenge the knight, then that's another exchange of pieces. So it's doing it really, really nicely. And then this was a well-timed exchange because white can't take back with the pawn here because of knight takes e4. So then you're just sort of forcing the exchange of rooks. The one thing that's slightly surprising, I suppose, is the exchange of queens from Leela. You would think that keeping the queens on would be a much better way to try and create some counterplay. But yeah, Leela playing these odds games is quite strange, and a lot of these decisions, it's like in that 6th game, a lot of these decisions going for some sort of end game and then holding it consummately. So there is obviously something behind it there. That's definitely true, but this one was a little bit surprising. But David did it beautifully. I mean, here you're just basically, David's idea is to try and there's one weak point here, which is the a3 pawn. If you can attack that one, then that's super. And he just maneuvers like an absolute genius, basically, to get at that pawn. And the actual solution is through the king side. It's classic. It's really classic strategy. You get to the weak side through a strength on the other side. And once that pawn is forced to move forwards, then again it's taking years before he realizes it. But realizes, I mean, before he implements it. But you just know that it's going to happen all the way, right? The king side is blocked. No need for the king side anymore. And then the king just sort of comes around, and the knight comes to b6, and you win the pawn. You know, it's beautiful, really lovely technique. And yeah, I mean, going back to the point of can you train, you know, would this be good training for a human player? I think absolutely, because what you're seeing here, you know, you're seeing really good really good elite super GM, making it look, you know, like easy. But I think, you know, players, well, that's what you should aspire to if you want to be that strength. So I could definitely recommend younger players being given this, you know, and saying, okay, you beat Leela a night down and see how it goes, because it's a really nice training, you know. And to do it against human players, it's often a little bit tough. But something like Leela. You know, you can just play anytime you want, you know, either on the bot or even at home. Now I'm playing on my home Leela, just a couple of little parameters, and you're there. So wonderful stuff, really wonderful. And this was a fun opening. So I don't know whether Leela came up with this itself, or whether the reason that it played 10 games with it was because it was in a book that Larry gave it. I don't know what that's. Seems a strange choice in a way. I mean, it is very much the Steinitz approach here. We saw these games where Steinitz was playing the Evans Gambit type stuff. You know, this is very much in that thing. But it confused David. Of course, it made him spend a lot of time. So and that turned out to be crucial later. You know, it's this is pretty cool. This is really pretty cool. I mean, David's doing you know, is doing a really impressive job here, you know. And it's it's really good. It's good fun. It's really good fun. This brilliant. The 3+1 is going to be tough. You can't play Scotch without a G1 knight. Remove book and slightly increase contempt. Okay, that's what we like to hear. No, it's okay. I think Leela 1 ply. Yeah, I'm going to do this at some stage. I'm going to play a match against Leela at 1 ply. I will do this at some stage. I've done one already. I did 2.5 years ago. I did a 101 game match against Leela at 1 ply. Obviously, Leela's a lot stronger now, so I'm a little bit weaker, so it would be a bit of a challenge, I think. But I will do that at some stage. But I just need to just find some proper time. Yeah, great stuff. So Leela is up to the eyeballs in contempt and making up stuff as Leela goes along. Great. Let's have a look at that. That's nice. I mean, I don't think you couldn't do that necessarily, I think, all the time, because then Leela would just play the same. That's why a book is a good idea. But Viren, exactly. Oh, as Leela crashed. BT41 node above Carlsen now. Do you think? I can't imagine. Yeah, 1 ply would mean no calculation, just intuition, just the on strength of evaluation. So I thought Leela, the T80 nets were about 2450, 2500. So yeah, you know, yeah, BT4 would probably be very strong, but still, I can't believe higher than Carlsen. No, I can't believe. Leela looks better there, doesn't it? Leela looks better. There's a quote of Viren's about this contempt can hold anything. So, right. So we've got Leela now. Big contempt. And making up the openings as it goes along. I think that's a good idea. You couldn't do it for every single game, but it is nice to have a bookless. Leela will play Bishop F4 here, I think, actually. That's my estimation. Yep. Oh, are we going to have my game? We're going to have my game, maybe. No, David didn't play my Queen B6. Yeah. Yes, Viren, your quotes will never be forgotten, David. Viren, I'm afraid. Now, what is David going to do here? Is he going to take off? I think maybe take off and go e6 and then bishop d6 is quite... But I think he might be... Yeah, we might be heading for another one of those two bishop positions. That's the problem. h6, that's a good... Oh, yeah. I don't think this was clever from Leela. Or is Leela going to go back to e3, maybe? Claim that the king side's been weakened? Maybe. Yes. Aha! You see, I'm in the mind of Leela now. They're going to call me the Leela Whisperer. Yeah, this was meant to weaken the king side. Clever, actually. If castles, you might have to watch out for g4, maybe. Although maybe David will strike back with e5 in the center, actually. That might be too much of a good thing. If I was David, I would actually, yeah, that's clever. That's really clever. Don't castle too soon. Just protect yourself and keep your options open. Because if Leela starts playing g4, h4, wahaha! Contempt 350. There we go. Okay, David's he's going to keep his king in the center a little longer, and he's just going to start some sort of attack. Oh, fantastic, Patrick! It's let's hope it's not the blind leading the blind. No, we did a decent job, I think, with Game Changer, and just trying to explain it for lay people, which Natasha and I are ourselves. I mean, Natasha's got a good background in maths, and but still, yeah, it was all very new for us. But hopefully, we did a decent job of helping along there. Okay, so I think this is a real this is a different Leela, isn't it? Absolutely. It could be crash and burn, or it could be yeah. This is much more aggressive. I think if I was David, to be honest, I would be playing knight e4 at some stage and just giving away a pawn like that. Feels like whoa, okay, good. Wow, David's always really going for it now. Leela's not too convinced. Minus 4.05 somehow. But Viren, are you still developing for Leela, or are you thoroughly fished now? The Queen d5 now is going to be a good solid move, I think. Nah, Queen's off. Haha. Yeah, okay, this is not going to be easy. There's too many pawn weaknesses for black. This is very difficult to win against an engine. This I can tell you with absolute certainty. Yeah, if David manages to win this, then he's done. He's going to do brilliantly. We can go rook b3, can't we? Can we go rook b3 here? Rook f3. That's a bit of a nasty move. Hitting f7 and yeah, also eyeing f6. Maybe we play rook f5. Yes, I was going to say. So that knight might need to retreat. But I think it's pretty impressive, right? That we well, Viren, I think it's all those late nights and wild parties that have fried your brains. So, oh, whoa, wow! Look at that tactics. B takes c4. Oh God, Leela, that was beautiful tactics from David, but actually Leela's responded instantly. And oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm a bit worried for David here. He's this is quite scary. Reminds me very much of a game of Deep Blue against Gary. There was oh, David's. Oh yeah, that's clever. That's clever. It was probably a good practical idea just to. But I don't think you're going to be winning this, against Leela. I don't think so. King up goes up to e3, I think. Oh, f1. Okay. Now I think this one's going to be drawn. This one. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, you're going to grab the H pawn now and run it. Careful, David. Careful. This is from the Matthew. This is from the Matthew annals of endgame play. Oh, rook F5 now. HF5, surely. This is getting really worrying. Yeah, Leela thinks white's better now, actually. So, yeah, this has all gone wrong. There's just 1 second left for David. Very tough now, very tough. H6. We're going to give a few checks. Rook H5. Oh, and you're going to go Rook H3 and Rook G4. Oh, God. Yeah. Time. This is just impossible to do. Oh, I'm getting a cup of coffee. That's brilliant. I've been talking non-stop for years. Yeah, there's still some play, but it's really unpleasant. Yeah. That's that was very difficult. That was just impossible for David. It's just. But I think that 3+1 increment. That's this. This is getting to borderline. Very, 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 very difficult. You know. Just the increment is, but beautiful play from Leela, by the way. Yeah, some really nice play, I have to say. Actually, I do think it's a very, this sort of position. You're noticing that converting this position against an engine is unbelievably difficult. Just one pawn for the piece. But weak pawns everywhere, and you can even lose it. It's I'm definitely losing these. All right, let's have a look. I think we could. At the moment, it's looking like 3+2 is the sort of the towards the sweet spot somehow, isn't it? And anything shorter is it's a real strain for the human player. Let me have a look. Just having a look at the openings here. Oh, C4, very unusual from Leela there. Yeah, very unusual. Oh, yeah, very unusual. Just playing a Queen's Gambit declined, but without the knight. Okay, that's rather strange. Not what you'd expect, to be honest. I think probably David, maybe the most sensible thing would be just to play the normal moves quickly. It's just play them all. Play them all. He's going for some big exchanges. I guess bishop f4 is going to happen. Oh, yeah, but then maybe he's going to take on c3, go bishop d6 and swap off another pair of bishops. Oh, he's going for the big exchanges here. Oh. Queen b6. Queen c2. Yeah, Leela's. I think, to be honest, my personal opinion is that these contempt settings are better as well. I think this is more. This is much more challenging for a human player. I mean, maybe the quality is a bit less, but this is definitely definitely much more challenging. Well, Marcus, I do think that if David plays with longer time controls, he's simply going to win every game. I think the way that he's been playing, it's been brilliant. So I think and this has got a little bit out of control again, and this is just a little bit more. So David's just giving back a pawn now. You can take on e4 here. He's still a piece up, so yeah, sometimes you have to be practical. But going to be interesting to see what Leela makes of this. Now, but Leela's rating is not. Leela's playing casual games all the time, so I think it's just Leela's rating is unimportant, really. Oh, the little tactics coming in. Rook takes d4, bishop e3. They're the irritating ones, the ones that more irritate. Oh yeah. David's going for rook takes d1 now. He's going to go for the queen. Now, is Leela going to play rook d1 or is Leela going to go? I think Leela's going to go for the queen. Yeah. Oh, this is just like what I had. Just like what I had in the game I showed at the beginning. Now, this is the question. Can David do it better than I did? I didn't do it too badly in all fairness, but queen b3, interesting. Yeah, this is a super challenge. Yeah? I think also just in general, if you're thinking about training, this is a great challenge to win this sort of position against a strong engine. I think it's definitely a good one. But again, it's very clever play from David there, he just chose his moment to force a decision there. I'm not quite sure what Leela's doing here. This is not looking very solid. Yeah, this is good play from David. He's back in his sort of, playing consolidating moves. Maybe bishop b6 here or something, or I mean, f6 looks quite strong, to be honest. I'm not really sure what Leela's doing against it, but it's the sort of thing that where you doubt yourself, really. But I think f6 just looks very good, doesn't it? I mean, if e6, I just do something like bishop d6 or something, and yeah, this is a solid move. Which maybe took a bit too long on that one, really. Well, if you want to see somebody playing slow chess, against engines, Marcus, just take a look at my games against Leela on my channel. You'll get all the joy you want in the world. It's the Crazy Leela series, Marcus. Okay, so this is not easy to win this. But David's doing a very sensible job so far. It's just it could be that f5 is going to come in soon. I fear, yes. So knight d4 and then queen d1 is going to be the idea. Knight d4, queen d1. So you'll take there and then I'd take this h5 pawn. So yeah, okay. Oh no, wait a minute, sorry. Oh, queen f2, golly. Yeah, because queen d1 there was knight takes f5. Jeez. Oh, David, no, queen b6. Damn it. Okay, he's still drawing. Keep on hoovering. F4, all good. Keep on hoovering. I think there's 2 more games after this one. This is a draw, so he should just be an easy draw. Keep on checking. Nice and easy. Leela's going to play for a win, of course. Oh no, maybe not. Actually, Leela can't really get the king past, I think. Yeah. Excellent. Well done. I think. No. And rook g4. That's good. Okay, now you just move the king. Or move the knight, that's pretty good. Maybe somebody needs to hit the repeat button or offer David a draw. I'm going to exhaust him otherwise like this. Come on, Leela. Oh, Leela. We need the TCC draw rule here. We really do. This must be a draw. Does Leela do draws by repetition, by the way? Because we must have had it by now. We must have it by now. Yeah. Phew. Okay. Good. Wow. Oh, David. Oh. Three. Yeah. 3-1 is tough. Yeah. I think might be good. It might be good to go back to 5-3. You know, but with this contempt, that might be quite good. You know, that might be quite a nice way to do it. I would have thought. And just see whether this contempt can do something at David's better best time control.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, well done for not panicking and holding the draw thereafter. That was
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, with 1 second per move, I'm often struggling, and especially if the opponent is able to play so quickly and so well. So in the first game, I mean, it sort of had to happen at least once during the match. And in the second game, I mean, I blundered this bishop, of course, and then at one point I did not exactly pre-move rook a1, but played rook a1 when I wanted to play rook a3, but just the king was going here and there, and I just lost count of it and played rook a1, believing to give a check, and then I realized the king was on the third rank, but luckily I was able to bring my rook to g4 anyway. Basically, it should be a fortress, perhaps even without the h pawn, but I would need to regroup. Then perhaps rook e6, knight h6, or knight g8 should also be fine. But defending this was a 1 second per move is not the most thankful. I mean, it is a thankless task.
Yeah. No, but 3+1 is really tough, right? I mean, it's tough to make a move in 1 second like that. It's really
yes. So now let's switch to 3+2 games to the end, but I will need some break, at least 30 minutes.
We'll go for it, David. Fantastic. Brilliant stuff. We're really everyone's so happy to see this. So thanks very much.
Yes, actually, in the first game of this pair, I probably did not need to give away the bishop for 2 pawns, but I was getting short of time and the position was quite chaotic. So at that point, I just believed it was a practical decision. But then I missed this attack on f7, and with 1 second per move against the computer, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So
brilliant.
See you soon.
Have a good break. Bye. And looking forward to the last games. Oh, fantastic. 3+2. Yeah. 3+2. Brilliant. So I think 3+2 is on the sweet spot, but I think David's getting a little bit tired as well, of course. So it's going to be he's putting himself through a really tough challenge, isn't he? It's Viren, Mr. Beads, this is his recommended bedtime watching now. He can't get to sleep. He can't get to sleep if he hasn't watched one of my videos losing to Leela. So unfortunately, I got a number of comments saying, stuff like, "Why are you so weak?" and stuff like that. So it was a little bit. It's always a bit of a mixed bag, really. I don't mind losing against engines, and I find it quite normal. But people do tend to think then that you're not a very strong player. So it's. But no, I love that series. I thought it was really cool. I'm preparing something new as well, actually. So. Going to be a bit more contempt Leela stuff coming up on the channel. So it's I mean, it's really cool. These are really nice ways of using engines to do just a little bit more than analyze your openings or show you where you blundered in a game. It's really it really is cool. And I mean, obviously the Stockfish guys, I think it's fair to say, are pretty laser focused on just making the engine better, and they're pretty good at that. But doing what the Leela team is doing, and doing stuff like this odds chess and contempt and all of that, it's really I really think it's broadening out enormously the possibilities of what engines can do. And yeah, I mean, it's really. I mean, to be honest, I'm impressed with both. To be honest, because in general terms, I still find it quite incredible that that anything can make any points against such a strong GM with a piece less. But yeah, also really impressed with how David's playing. Some of his wins have been real masterclasses in control there. It's no, it's really good. I mean, it's really impressive, really impressive. So and he's not sparing himself either. He's not just staying on a high time control, and he's totally out of his comfort zone and giving it absolutely everything. So yeah, it's brilliant. Oh, Viren trying content in Stockfish again. Fantastic. We need Stockfish to be weak. Yeah, no, I mean it's a brilliant feature. All right, 3+2. So we've got high contempt and no book again, I guess. Come on, Leela. D4. Yeah, the one question is whether Leela will play exactly the same. That is the that is possible, isn't it? That could be the slight downside to it, but on the other hand, the position was quite sort of reasonable. So I wonder whether David will vary actually. Whether he'll go Queen B6. No. Are we going to get the same game twice? This would be a little bit. That would be a little bit sad. No, Leela's varying. Great. Well done, Leela. Good. I guess the time control makes a little difference, maybe. Although I guess Leela's just doing 500,000 nodes, probably. Although to be honest, this looks more. Whoa! What's that about? This looks more like Contempt 200 again. To be honest. So, well, Bishop D6 looks like it should be the move, really. H6 maybe is possible as well. Wouldn't H6 be clever? There we are. The GM still got it. Queen B3 is going to be played, yes. And then Queen B6, Queen C2, I think. Yes, there we are. So that's stopping Bishop D6. That's the idea. So Leela's doing utmost to avoid pieces being exchanged. I think David's going to be fairly relentless on this one. So, David, you're just part of the League of Davids, aren't you? That's why you think that David's going to win this one. I keep on switching between David and David. By the way, I'm sorry about that. It's just when I think about it, I always use Dutch pronunciations. Whoa, what's that about? Why? Wasn't C takes D4 winning a pawn? Or am I crazy? What is Leela doing, actually? Knight D3, I guess. Yeah, Leela's doing everything to avoid exchanging off the knights, really. So I reckon David is going to play... Or is he going to play Bishop D6? Or is this getting tricky? Is A5 going to happen then? He could always go Queen C7, I think. So, C takes D back, but wouldn't C takes D would be rather nice, wouldn't it? Oh, is something happening? No, nothing's happening. Always get nervous. I think you're going to have to play C takes D4 now, or maybe C4. C4 is possible. C4 is actually quite tempting, I have to say. Okay, C takes D4 is quite calm. You've got to take with the equal. There we are. Okay, well, Leela's got this Carlsbad structure reversed. And but yeah, David's managed to exchange off so many pieces that he should be yes, I can speak Dutch. Tweshka. I'm I think I'm native speaker. I'm a native speaker, standard. I think, with a rather horrific accent. That's let's agree on that. But in terms of vocabulary and all that, I use Dutch a lot in my job. Okay, so David's doing this very nicely. He's back in control. He's back in this control mood here. Well, Robin, take a look at my Crazy Leela series if you're looking for that. That is absolutely what happened. Greetings from Germany. Close enough. Now I've tried speaking Dutch to Germans, and then they speak German to me, and I speak Dutch back. But it's yes, I can speak French as well. My mum's French, so that's that I learned that language when I was tiny. Well, David's doing an absolutely wonderful job here. He's back in control. Knight f4 probably is what's going to happen here, isn't it? I think that's legal. Yeah. Knight f6, that is legal too. Yeah, I'd say that David's quite odds-on for winning this. He's controlling it beautifully. I don't think very much of that last move, to be honest. I mean, he had to keep stuff together. Yeah, this is looking smooth again. Looking super smooth. Yeah. I think Leela will probably throw an a6, I guess. No. Yeah, this has gone completely. I'd almost guess that Leela was back to Contemptla 200 with this. It's much less oomphy than the other. Yeah, Dutch is quite a. It is a fairly can be a fairly guttural language. It does depend who's speaking it really. But it is quite guttural. It's so this is all for David. David just keeping control, and he's done this quite beautifully up till now. Gradually nibbling away pawns. This knight on d6 is beautiful. Yeah, this is easy. Easy. Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, brilliant, super. Can see sometimes, that, it's just judging that opening position. Oh, sorry, I've got an arrow in there. Just judging that opening position just right somehow. You know, it makes a huge difference. You know, but there, look, he's got more time than Leela at the end. Really nice game. So 6-3 to David. So he's definitely winning this match, which is incredible. Incredible. Brilliant. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. This is quite unique. It's not only unique from the technical point of view, all the work that the Leela devs have done, but also unique from the point of view of an elite GM willing to put his to put himself on the line, and sort of take Leela on like this. It's really brilliant, super. These are lovely chess events. It's really nice to see both sides of chess, engine, human, sort of coming together and playing really well. And it's great to see that humans doing nicely as well. So with a knight on b1, what are we going to get? Is Leela going to do this weird stuff again with c5? That's swapping it out a little bit. So e3 is what we're expecting from Leela. Absolutely. Knight c6, yeah. And now Leela's played c3 and knight f3. c3 is a very sensible move. I think Dav is going to go knight f6, isn't he? He's just going to stick to his normal stuff, I think. Or is he going to try queen b6? I mean, there's a very nice gambit that you play with a knight on g1. So actually, maybe that's I mean, queen b6 is maybe quite nice, yeah? Oh, he's done it. He's done it. Whoa. No queen b3. We're just offering the pawn. Okay. Oh, David, I think he's letting his hair down now in this game. He's going for it. So let's have a look what Leela can come up with here. In general terms, this looks absolutely ridiculous for white. That would be my feeling, but yeah, this should be the last game. It was going to be 10 games, and yeah, I think c4, interesting. Wondering about that one. I think we might get some Leela reaction, indeed. Yeah, got to watch out with this one now. e6. This is the type of position in which Leela is quite dangerous. Yeah, you're piecing a pawn down, but Leela says minus 2.14. So yeah, it's a bit spicy. Okay, I think are we gonna get f4 in h4 maybe? f4, yeah. Must be said, you see a lot fewer h4 ideas, don't you, with the without a knight. Yeah, this is quite dangerous. This is going to be quite. This is going to be a fun game. Leela's teeing up on this one. But David's going to castle queenside, so he's got that. He's going to keep his king nice and far away. He was doing a good job again. Just okay, little dilemma. Oh, okay, interesting. Takes. At some stage, Black is he's doing this very, very calmly. I was expecting some, I guess rook h3 now, to be honest, to play g4. Now he castles. Excellent. Yeah, he's completely in control. He's doing it really well, must be said. Really, really well. So I think Leela's going to try and kick that queen and try and get an a4 somehow. Oh, no. Yeah, this is excellent. This is really good. Yeah, Leela's gone nowhere. Oh, my goodness. So this has actually gone nowhere at all. Now, I would expect a4. No. Okay. Ooh. Would have expected a4, because I think now we just go knight a4 and then b5 and this is all going south. Oh, that's a nice move. He's going to try and go rook c6 to b6, I think. Yeah, he's just going to try and exchange off rooks that way. Oh, he's going to play rook b4, surely. You are, aren't you? Come on, Leela. Rook b4. That's what you want. I know it's what. No. Oh, okay. That's really what I was expecting. But okay, maybe bishop c2. Okay. And now you're going to play maybe G3 and H3, G4, but it's very slow. Now, David's playing this beautifully, and he's got more time as well. Look at that. Rook C8, interesting. H4. Oh. Yeah, you can just play nice, and I mean, I think you can also up your increments. You can just play the king around a few places. But in general, he's playing very positively all the time. David is really this is just really super control. It's very impressive. Queen B5 now is going to really annoy that bishop on B1. Oh, bishop B3. Oh, okay. He's just going after the A3 pawn. Why not? Yeah, these pieces are really... Yeah, Leela's desperate now. That's a bit of desperation. I guess Leela is going to play F5 soon, yeah? I guess. I can't... I don't know. I think maybe we just move the bishop back to E7 now and then go knight A4. Okay, that's possible too. I would have... okay. Oh, David's doing this beautifully. He's going to come around. He's going to bring the queen back to D8. He's going to go knight A4 most probably, and then go queen D8, I think. Or even maybe knight C8. Certainly the option of coming round to the king side is in there. Yeah, the knight's coming round to E7. Ah, this is brilliant. He really is strong, you've got to say. Well, I showed a game of his before. I mean, do take a look at his oh, he's coming with queen A3. Wonderful. He's just nibbling bit by bit. He's just nibbling away at the white position. Incredible. Really beautiful play, this. Got to say. Yeah. Yeah, Leela. Oh, that's brilliant as well. Yeah, he's going to play the pawn up to A4, then play the queen back to E7, hit the H4 pawn with tempo, and then he's going to have A3 as well. Ah, brilliant. He's building up the increments as well. This is the key thing, right? You just build up increments just by strengthening your position. Shashin, in his book, How to Find the Best Move in Any Position, he called this elevation, that you just move your position ranks up the board. And he said it was the Capablanca style. Ah, excellent. Snaffling that bishop. Brilliant. Yeah, I've got to say, this is quite outstanding. Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to be worried about that. Leela going for the suicide. Take on B4 now, I think. That seems, on B1 rather, that seems like quite a good option. Maybe play F5 afterwards. A4. Oh, A4, A3. Yeah. Let's do it, baby. I think we just carry on with A3, don't we? I mean, EF is also very good. EF followed by Queen E6. Oh, EF now. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant, brilliant play. Brilliant play. What a player. F6 check now. Oh, F4 even. Brilliant. This has been an incredible performance. Really, nothing but admiration. Yeah, that's perfect. And Queen E1 is going to come in. And then A1 Queen. And there are no checks. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yep. Queen E7, Queen H7 checkmate. Yo, well done. Well done. Good game. Brilliant. Super. Really impressive. And he makes it look easy, but I can tell you it's pretty difficult. It really is. Wow. Incredible. So yeah, 7-3 to David. Very impressive. Yeah, very impressive. Some of these games, yeah. Wow, that was good. That was
Thank
really
you.
played. Wow.
Surprisingly, I was informed today, although I didn't expect it. By the way, in one of the games where I was a piece up with black and had like a rook, knight, and something, there was a nice trap, but I'm not sure if I find it now, because there was a trap that. I mean, the one where I had a bishop on c5, rook on e8, knight on d5,
Oh yeah,
on e4, and I didn't win it because I blundered bishop. There was a nice trap that if I play bishop d6, there was e takes d6, rook takes e4, d7, but it was an older game, not one of the last two. It was, I think, 3+1. It was the 8th game.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me just try and find it.
I had played some training games against computer, and I was actually even often losing with 5+3 or like this. But I took a lesson from it. Yes, instead of bishop b6, there was bishop d6 in some positions, but there was e takes with my bishop.
Okay.
Yes, bishop d takes and d7 and knight e3, f takes e3 doesn't work. So I need to play king g7 instead and hope for fortress. There should be one, but I would need to play it for further 70 moves.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, we were really impressed because you were keeping control so well throughout the throughout the games. There was a couple that got away, but for the most part you were absolutely rock solid all the way. It was really impressive.
I prepared very seriously. I analyzed some openings, although it was not so simple because normally one cannot merge games in ChessBase when they start from other position than from the starting position. So I needed to select some games and look at them and then sort of merge opening preparation. Of course, it looks weird that Grandmaster is preparing for positions with a knight, with an extra knight. But I mean, this computer is very strong and it also plays a sort of chess which is unpleasant for human players because it's playing for traps and complicating the positions. So basically, I took it seriously and I had just like 5 principles which I tried to follow. First, keep my king safe. Second, exchange queens when possible. Third, try to keep the position simple. I mean, quiet. Don't create tactical weaknesses and care about my time. Try to keep time, which I mean, the last one was a problem, as you have seen, but somehow today I managed to cope with the task, although I can tell you on some other days I was playing with slightly slower time controls and losing some games. So it was not really easy, but I prepared. I looked at some 200 or maybe 250 games of this computer. And when you prepare, it simplifies the play because you at least know what to do in the first 10 moves and what to do with the pieces then just to achieve safe positions like this.
No, it was brilliant. Somebody asked actually whether, did you have any, is it more nervous to play against an engine than to play against a human player, or how does it feel?
Yes, it is. But I mean, with contemporary online chess, when there are some events without cameras, sometimes it's the most stressful when you are playing someone and not sure whether it is indeed a human player or maybe an engine or the mixture of the two. So it's really unpleasant. And now at least I knew I was playing an engine. Of course, it was difficult when I was short of time because the engine plays very quickly, very well. Actually, maybe it could still improve one thing, because when the position became just really bad for Leela, it even started exchanging queens instead of going for something really hopeless, but with some small chances that I might get confused. So sometimes when it was bad but not hopeless yet, it probably chose what I would not have called the best chance.
Yeah, no, we thought that too. Yeah, it's yeah, it was a brilliant, absolutely brilliant event to watch, and yeah, we're so impressed with how you played. It was really really enormous respect for it. It was brilliant, truly.
Thank you. I mean, today in my case, a lot depends on form and also how I start, because when I start well, I get more confident and can quicker and like this. But when I start poorly, I can start tilting and it's not good then. So I mean, my form is quite shaky and today it was quite good, but there are very big ups and downs. So I'm glad that I managed to win this match. It was not clear to me at all how would it end, but I prepared and preparation helps, and I somehow managed to keep the things under control, except for time perhaps, and except for some minor mouse slips in the game or finger slips, because I'm playing on the touch screen in games 3 to 5, but none of them affected the result because they were just in positions where it did not really matter.
Brilliant. Well, David, thanks very much indeed for taking on this challenge and then just doing it so wonderfully. I think everyone here has had a fantastic time, and there's nothing better, to be honest, than watching in a sort of an even sort of setting a strong player taking on an engine like this. It makes for wonderful chess. So thanks very much indeed. You've deserved a fantastic rest, and it's been a real privilege and a pleasure to watch you playing today. Thank you very much, David.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon or evening or day, whatever time of the day is. I know that in the Great Britain it's afternoon, but other countries it might be evening or morning or whatever else.
Yeah, we've got a few people from Asia, I think, as well. So it's a bit later for them, but yeah, everyone's had a fantastic time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. You are welcome, and have a great weekend. Goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Well, there we are. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What can I say? It's just, it's really just beautiful. And yeah, enormous credit to first of all, to the Leela team, and for putting Leela together like this, to Windfish, his amazing machine, and making sure all the technical stuff worked well. And yeah, of course, to David for just taking it super seriously, and then putting in a quite magnificent performance. But I think I think can definitely see the potential of playing Leela, of playing Leela in this way, and training potential and all of that. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look. New features of the AI in chess. There's lots of them, lots of themes and playing ideas. You don't actually see too many of them here, actually. Leela was playing much more normally here, I guess. But yeah, moving the rook's pawn, strength in opposite coloured bishops, sacrificing material all over the place for dynamic play. Yeah, lots of stuff like that. Well, I'm probably going to write an article, hopefully, for New in Chess, following on from Larry's article. Maybe, yeah, anyway, they were sort of mentioned that, so I'll definitely put those tips down, because I think they were kind of golden tips for playing against engines in general, I think. So it's yeah, really nice. But okay, I'm gonna end it there. Thanks very much for all the he looked at a lot of stuff, Mr. Bees. I thought he was going to do it super seriously. I thought he was going to do it. He's that sort of guy. So very impressive. So I'm going to end the stream here. I'd like to thank everyone, absolutely everyone who contributed. I should mention Larry Kaufman as well for his article, and all the stuff obviously he's done for the Leela team as well. And yeah, thanks very much, everyone, and hope to see you around for future videos and future streams. Thanks very much.